Ladies and gentlemen, that was I Just Had Sex from the Lonely Island, in case you didn't know. How is everybody doing tonight? Shout outs to the 8-bit, shout outs to the 69-bit, George Zaharoff, Joey Cannoli. Joey Cannoli plus GZ equals XXX, ladies and gentlemen. Pop it, get into it. It's about that time of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the little border. Look at the sexy border around us. Anyways, I'm really happy to see you guys. We have a really awesome stream for you, and of course, you know, I have a bag. I have some goodies in here. Holy fuck, I can smell it from here. For anyone that loves George Zaharoff and anybody that loves the Cannoli Mafia, this is our love letter. This is, you know, our P.S. I love you. This is our seduction for you. This is for all of you that support and love us. And, you know, listen, XXX, this isn't oh hell, let's just get into it. Enough of this edging. Mr. Z, are you ready to come on? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're edging. Look at you.
Mr. Cannoli.
Mr. Z, pleasure.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Long
I'm
time.
really excited. I'm in a really good mood. It's great to see you. It's great to not see you. Fuck it, you know. There he is.
I'm learning how to use an iPhone for the first time.
Shout outs to iPhones.
Yeah.
You got this.
You think so, Joey?
I think you can do anything, George. You're unstoppable.
Thank you, Joey. I feel the same about you.
You know what? We have to maximize the talent, the potential, the gifts. You have to share the gifts with the world, right?
We do. And so I think that we discussed this. We said that, let me get on to my, hold on.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, everybody?
I think everyone's really happy. People are saying sexy time. George Z looking sharp. I want to see Joey and George tie their dongs together into a knot and make a schlong pretzel, says Duplo.
Duplo, it's good to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's great. Duplo always likes to shave for me before he arrives. Look what's in my pocket, George.
Yes, indeed. So we're not gonna. So the mod, those are pretty cool, huh?
Pretty amazing.
So the mod for XXX has been chosen, but we're not gonna tell them what.
No, absolutely not.
Leave it till the day of, till we're ready.
100%. We're gonna edge them. Essentially, we're gonna edge you all. But I do have a bag of goodies. And
yes,
there's a lot of XXX in this bag.
7 renditions. This is the most expensive fragrance that I've created together with Joey. It's called an underground because it's not a Z creator. It was a fragrance that was created and inspired by the times that we've spent on here and the crazy talk that we would talk. And so Joey inspired it, and then I had a certain direction in my head, and Joey was the one that was able to he chose the fragrance. He picked the one that he felt, that best.
Absolutely.
That best was the vision for XXX.
So we had a vision in mind, and a lot of you guys, it's really great to see you still here with us after 3 years during the pandemic, during lockdown, when we used to do 7-8 hour streams, and it would be 2, 3 a.m., 5 a.m. for some people, 12 a.m. for others. We would have these talks, these very intimate, very personal, very vulnerable talks, and it almost felt like when you were a kid and you know you should have been in bed, but you're staying up, you're having like a sleepover and you're talking about things that you shouldn't. It's a little taboo. Who could be listening? Who could be watching? And Triple X, it was conceived from the pandemic. It was conceived with the hours upon hours of late night conversations. And as you guys know, Joey Cannoli After Dark used to be a nice 2020 segment. We would talk about sexuality. We would talk about men's health. We would talk about fetishes and kinks and everything in between. And, a lot of you guys really enjoyed that time. You really enjoyed when I would bring up that topic and all of you would share your stories and we would talk about our sexual experiences. And my humor is raunchy. And I think George and I just had this idea of a fragrance that could capture all of those late night conversations, male sexuality, that primal instinct, the desires that we all have. And Triple X, like I said, the best thing is that it's a love letter. It's a love letter to all of you. I think we all have that primalness inside of us.
Yes, it is a love letter, and I think that it is also because it's so taboo that it would be something that Joey would be canceled over, right? We talked about that, yeah. What I like about you, Joey, is that if there was ever first of all, for me, I enjoy sharing. I enjoy sharing knowledge. I enjoy sharing art. I enjoy making people a part of whatever I do. In my life, I want to share it. It's just how I am. And that there's many reasons for that. But I think that when it came time to launch Royale, and most of everyone here knows it, it was Royale X, and I felt that it was too scandalous to talk about it back then when we launched the Royale, but it sat in the back of my head for a long time that I wanted to complete the vision. And so Royale is what Santal was supposed to be. It's a sandalwood. It's the signature Santal, which would have been a sandalwood heavy, sandalwood dominant fragrance. Royale, though, turned out beautiful. It fits beautifully in the collection, but I wanted to finish it with the vision of it. So Royale X was created, was put out into the market, and it was a test, and it's actually a beautiful fragrance. And since
gorgeous,
right, and since it did well, I'm like, you know what? Let's complete it.
Let's go for it.
Right.
It's like a test, right? You were dipping your toe in the water, seeing how people would react, seeing if something along that line would be successful and be something that people would want to enjoy for themselves. Because it is taboo. Sex, especially in America and Western culture, is extremely taboo, sexuality. But when you go to other countries, I mean, granted, I've never been to experience it firsthand, but whenever I hear people talk, it's like America, we're also, it's so edgy. I can't say these things, and then you see a boob on TV and it's like no big deal, right? But we make this big ordeal out of sexuality in America. I don't know.
Only that, but we're living in the times of, I'm trying to get this. I'm sorry. I want to see how I could get, I want to see where I could see the live talking on my iPad, Joey.
You want to see the chat?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, you can just bring up you want me to send a link to you real quick?
Hold on, hold on. Sign in on the web. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, give me a moment.
No problem. I got this. Joey canceled, blackballed, demonetized, demonized. No, never that. Well, that's where the term cancel cannoli comes from.
Right.
And now more than ever, does it make sense? What a amazing, beautiful marketing. Thank you to each and every one of you. Cancel cannoli, getting demonetized right when you could get monetized, getting blacklisted, getting blacked.
People are loving this, aren't they?
They are loving this.
But it's important because we're also living in that time. It was the area of the Me Too, and so this isn't about. It's about your own sexuality. It's not about you. It's not about someone else. It's yourself.
The personal experience, that you're able to share, and it's beautiful because we've all participated in such festivities. If I don't go into too much context,
Right.
definitely my number one's a Haroff perfume. Says Raphael. Thank you, Raph. Is it safe to say this smells like Joey's crotch? How would you know if you've never smelled it? I'm gonna leave that up in the air. I want Joey to give me pink eye. Says Duplo. We could
Duplo.
do that. We could do the pink eye.
I think Duplo isn't Duplo in Australia. Is Duplo in Australia?
No, Duplo's American.
Okay.
Duplo's in America.
I just thought.
Uh,
Okay. So um,
Tell me
so
more about Triple X.
so when we did Triple X, Joey and I toyed it with the idea with Joey, and I said, you know what, Joey, because I was afraid that it would be too
Risque.
risque, that because putting a fragrance out there the way I have to do it with printing bottles and boxes, it's not like a sticker that I put on a bottle and
Just slap it on there and call it a day.
whoever's business model is that, but it's a little bit more difficult for me because I've got minimums and so on and so forth and caps, and it's a little bit more tougher. So
A lot that goes into it. There's a lot more
so
that goes
I
into it.
want to I was nervous of putting the investment into everything and not knowing. So I think that the two of us came on here with the group, and we I created a couple hundred, I think like 300 samples.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the travel pack. I think we did the Joey Cannoli travel set, which was
Underground, yeah.
Yep, which was Royale X, and Royale Triple X. All three have the same exact oils, except the amount of each oil was manipulated, and so it's the same exact fragrance, just different oils, right?
Right.
Sweating my ass off. So anyway,
Very fitting.
when I get on here on the camera, it increases my heart and my heartbeat.
You get nervous.
Yeah, I get nervous being on camera. So thank you.
I
Joe.
love being on camera.
I know
I love us on camera. I think we have a good energy. And what a great story to tell. Because, guys, when you really break it down, Royale X, Royale Triple X. I love that. Reminds me of like the evolutions in Pokemon and shit, right? So, and it tells a story. It really does, like a beginning and an end. Where in that Triple X is the climax. Triple X is the finish.
It really is.
The money shot.
It really is, and so for those of you like waiting for the seat of their pants, Triple X will not be available until spring, because we chose the final. Joey got the remaining 2 modifications for a total of how many modifications were there, Joey?
7.
7.
7.
7.
7 modifications, and it was not an easy task. I just want to say that you have this vision in your mind, you have this idea, and when you have these options and you're smelling it, you're trying to find that connection, and they all smell great, and they all give you that idea, but one of them had to be chosen the winner. It's like when you have 7 amazing singers, but somehow you have to pick one.
Right, and the one that was chosen is really a masterpiece.
Without a doubt.
Because it stands out from the whole bunch. And there was one that, so what happened was, so a little bit of background. So we do the travel set. Whoever was a part of this group received it with no charge. It was to have fun with it. And the other sets sold out very quickly all over the world, actually. It was awesome. And all of a sudden, people were enjoying them. And I'm like, wow, Joey, I didn't expect it. I thought people would be like, what the heck is this?
We were very nervous. And Eugene just said it best. It's very daring. And in our mind, when it was brought to life and we're smelling this, we're like, oh my God, are they ready? Are people ready for something like this? But that's the artistry behind it. That was the vision. It's daring, it's bold, it's different. And we really wanted to create a masterpiece that would tap into those conversations we would have night after night. And I really think that we made the best decision.
I think so too. And it wasn't without, it was created as well, we created it like, okay, here it is, that the vision of the fragrance was completed, and then we're done.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, people are wearing it. Like, even I'm at the gym, and my trainer is wearing the Triple X, and of course, I can't concentrate.
How could you?
Like,
With
wow,
especially with the inspiration behind it, what it's supposed to envision.
it's crazy. And so here's me with Claude, and so okay. So for me, because I could be at my look. It's all about balance, right? We're all sexual beings, and there is a sexual aspect
Yep.
to all of us as men and women,
Yes.
but men, um,
More primal.
right. And so I wanted to really tap into that primal aspect of our sexuality because I grew up very religious, and sex was sinful,
It's
right?
taboo. It's
Was
taboo.
taboo,
It's I don't want to use a word like shameful, but it's something we don't talk about, right?
right?
You have
And
to
there's
hide it.
and there's certain aspects that I believe that if most men that love fragrances, I will bet that there's a big part of scent that goes into their private lives. That
100%.
it's a huge part of their sexuality too.
Fragrances can be very sexual, especially, I remember when I was younger and it was the final sealing of the deal. You have a girl coming over or anyone and you're going to have a physical connection. You're hoping to, right? And you're thinking this fragrance is going to draw them in. Fragrances draw you in.
Right.
Some of them are very intoxicating.
And there's something about our own smell when we're doing certain activities
Our pheromones
that are
release.
familiar to us, right?
Sure.
And I have to believe that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have that familiarity while someone was wearing a suit, or
Yeah.
they're driving their car and they're smelling themselves, and it smells like they're doing something, but they're not,
Right.
and it triggers them and it excites them. So kind of a fetish, for sure.
Totally. And once again, you think of a professional man in a suit, and the last thing that most people picture is him smelling like Triple X. Um, and to experience that, it is taboo. It's naughty, right? This is something that is normally behind closed doors, something that's intimate. And to experience that out and about, I don't know. I think for a lot of men, it's going to be I think it's going to be a turn on. I think it's going to tap into those instincts, and you know, we are wild animals at the end of the day. We have to condone ourselves
And
properly.
when all of the guys, I don't know, I think there was 10 obviously, because I think it was 10 on StreamYard, and they all were liking it, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys are all filthy animals, right?
Disgusting, degenerates. Yeah,
And so there's something about, like I said, of you smelling yourself, and I don't know, I'm getting on a plane and I'm smelling this, and I'm like, holy, that's it's exciting. It's like, wow, this is fucking hot.
yeah.
And I don't mean like this hot. I mean like,
It could be.
I mean it like this hot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I had something in my mind, and I really wanted the true essence of it. And so the reason why there's 7 modifications is because I kept pushing Claude Darren Man. I really wanted the smell. I wanted Triple X to be the smell of a crotch after doing.
Yeah, after physical activity, you could just say.
Yeah, because Royal X was clean. It's a cleaner, and everyone knows the story. Jumping in the shower, coming out, doing the nasty with someone else or themselves or maybe
themselves. It can be an
it's
intimate.
clean. It's a clean.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a clean, sexy fragrance. But you know what, George? Where coming out of the shower and either enjoying personal time with yourself or with a partner, so many people love Royale X, and it's almost like they got it was a tease of what Triple X is
Right.
going to be. It's
And
almost the foreplay.
and yes, and Royal X is a vanilla version of it, where someone uh, might not like um, hold on,
Skankiness, you think?
musky fragrances. This is
Yeah.
very easy. It's an easy bridge, and it's an easier
Thank you, Eugene.
catch my whiff. That's awesome. And so it's an easy connection, and it's a vanilla version of the Vision,
Would
right?
you say it's PG-13?
No, I think it's rated R.
Royale X.
Royal X's, yeah.
Okay.
I think triple X is triple X.
Okay, how about this? Royale PG-13, Royale X rated R, Triple
Okay,
X.
yeah, I like that. Okay, we could do that.
You know, that's and that's the thing, right? So Triple X is straight to the point. It's nasty. And when I say nasty, I want you to think like in a sexual way. Like it smells beautiful. This isn't, and I have to make myself clear when I say this. This fragrance, it's not something that is going to I don't think it's going to disgust anybody when they
No,
smell it. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised, and they're going to understand when we use words like crotchy and raunchy and musky and dirty. They're going to say, "Wow, this is perfect."
right. And I'll say this. So the higher the number, the more I pushed Claude and Mon to give me what I wanted.
Yeah,
Because so I'll say, well, we could say that number 7 is the real essence of that. It's
no fooling around.
what a man's crotch smells like in its form. Yeah, I think it really did the vision of it.
Totally.
But it's we've been talking between the two of us, and we've been reading a lot of the comments, and a lot of it, like Jonathan had said yesterday, right? He goes, "You still?" What did he say?
Captain Coke. Just shout outs to Captain Coke. I don't know if he's watching. Shout outs to John. They, I think a lot of people, they just want it to be wearable. And that's what he said. Just make it wearable. And I can reassure all of you that it is wearable.
Right.
Totally wearable. This is not a parody. This isn't a internet challenge. This isn't something that people are going to make videos and say the triple X reaction and put on their best Meryl Streep performance. No, this is art. It's beautiful. And it's a vision brought to life. And it's very relatable. I think every single person here is going to relate to it when they smell it.
More or less, and I think it was you, Joey, that said you don't want this to be a novelty. And it's kind of funny because
I don't want it to be a novelty.
But we initially thought it would be a novelty. And when you had people wear it, it's a beautiful fragrance. And then when it was taken way too far, you're like, George, I don't want this to be, you don't want this to be a novelty.
No.
Right? You wanted someone to enjoy it, and that way they don't just spray it once and say,
I tried it. I it's like when you go into those movies and you come out and you're like, wow, it was an experience, but I would never watch it again.
Right. Catch my whiff. Did you get triple X? Did you get the set, or are you talking about Royal X when you said it? So anyway, so the Mod 7 was exactly what I asked for. So when I went to Wisconsin, I took 5 mods, all 5 of them, and I went to Joey. We sat down on the table. We went through all of them. Joey got his bottle of leather tobacco as well. So Joey has his leather tobacco.
Yeah.
And
more on that later.
And I said, Joey, I'm waiting for mod 6 and 7 to come in, which it came yesterday. You got it today. Joey got his today, and we made the decision. So we're done. We chose which one.
We did. And
very
pleased with the turnout, with the outcome. Very pleased with the outcome. I'm asking about Triple X. I've never smelled it, but I own Royale X and just sprayed it on me. Hot, sweaty skin isn't a bad smell. I'm very curious about this.
It's not hot, sweaty skin, though. It's hot, sweaty crotch and armpits. It's the kind of scent that you get when it's the kind of pheromones. It's not mowing the lawn. It's
Right. It's skin on skin and sweat on sweat, and you know, your pheromones, as we sweat and our body temperature heats up, it pushes that odor out of us. We all know this smell. I can
yeah.
all of us are familiar with this smell, and I think you guys are gonna love it. I really do. I really do. To be
And
able to take that idea and make it beautiful.
no, it's not for everyone. But if you like
Oh,
Royal X, I think you'll like the Triple X. And shout outs to Eugene and to Juan and
hell yeah!
everything.
Thank you, Juan, Eugene.
It's plowing the field, exactly.
That's good. That's good, Skels. It's a clean interpretation of two flesh getting together. Yeah,
Nice
lust in every spray.
to see you, Kevin. And so I think that, however, and I don't know what I'm going to do because we're not using Mod 7,
There's
but
some ideas.
but Joe and I, Joey
Call
and I, we have some thoughts.
We have some thoughts, and I'm very, very excited. Just thoughts, nothing more, nothing less. I don't want to
So
say
Triple X
anything.
is coming out as a small 60 ml 4 ounce bottle, no 2 ounce bottle.
2 ounce. Yeah.
Okay, and I only made a very small amount, which probably end up selling out, and then I won't have any until next year. But this was a little test run, and we'll see. I know you never know. This might end up becoming, yeah, exactly what Eugene says: cock and balls, no condom, bareback landing strip. That's exactly it. It's that afterwards, and then you put in your hand, and that's what it is.
Like we all have done the smell test as men. You know, it's just a natural thing. A lot of people won't admit it, but we've all been there. We've all done the smell test. So if you can do the smell test on your own body, I think Triple X it's going to be familiar.
Right,
Put it
and it's not the same smell as working, and you know,
Yeah, it's not like you
not
got done playing
saying-
a game of basketball.
right.
No.
See, Jack, men like talking about the one thing that men
What?
could talk about all day is about their penis,
Yeah, sexuality, 100%, 100%.
right?
I've never met a man that hasn't mentioned anything about their sexuality or their their
Right.
penis, if you will.
And I think that the only person that Zaharoff could have done this with is you. There's no other, like, think about it, in the fragrance community. If I wanted to hook up with somebody,
There's no other.
no other.
There's no other.
Right.
That
People
makes
might say that there's never mind. I'm not going to say, but I only have one true love, and it's Joey. In spite of, that's what I think, that they must have been mistaken, that there's videos and pictures of you and me, Joey.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people. It's funny. It's never the way you think it is. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ross." No, guys. It's me. You fucking
I mean,
goofballs.
hello.
Like, give me a fucking break. What we do in Paris is a secret. You know what I mean? Anyways, detachable penis has aged well, out of respect.
So fun. And
Yeah,
Juju is a very willing participant.
yeah.
She knows that our love is very special.
When you know something is real, you don't want to get in the middle of it. You learn to accept, you learn to appreciate, and you learn to enjoy it.
See, so
Shout outs to Carla.
hi Carla, hi sweetie, hi Georgia Jet, hi Matt.
That would be an amazing idea to wear it to the adult video. Yeah, the adult video awards. No doubt.
I've been to the awards once in Vegas. I was someone's date at the time.
I see.
In a different life.
So they won an award, I'm assuming. You sat at the table with them, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I used to know. My sister lived in Los Angeles, and at that time, I knew Vivid Video. I knew a couple of
Vivid's pretty huge.
This,
big company. Oh yeah.
And so I've been around all that, so it's a lot of fun. Anyway, did I find? Yes, I found my fan. It was exactly what Joey said. It was under the bed.
All good things wind up under the bed.
I think the Cannoli Mafia is awesome. They remember these things.
They do, and I really have a soft spot. for anybody that was there during those late night
Yeah.
conversations, because guys, this is it. Like, it's brought to life. It's been chosen. The decision has been made. It is coming, and it is coming soon. We've been edging since what, 2020, George?
Yeah.
In a way.
I miss that, and I miss that. I've said this to Joey too. I miss those discussions about male sexuality and stuff like that. I miss it, and we've talked about maybe doing a podcast, or, now that so I'm in a hotel room. I've been in a hotel room for quite a long time, and Sunday I'll be back in my house. I did major renovations, and I was telling Joey that maybe I'll do one room, like a media room, and maybe we do a
Great
podcast.
idea.
We do a once a week, and we talk about, talk about. Never
Yeah,
know.
we talk about things to talk about things. What's under Joey's bed? Eugene, you're gonna have to come over and find out. I don't feel comfortable sharing that live, but I'll tell you what. I think, George, you and I have great chemistry together, and we have a connection. And I think everyone here would be excited to see you and I have a podcast together and just be comfortable, be relaxed, be
Right.
ourselves. And I
But
think you're gonna get some great conversation.
but I think the goal is, if like in my head, is to lift everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, and some people might not like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's out in the open that I don't care. Like, I don't care, because I know the intentions are pure, and you have some really good people that are talented, and in any other industry, it would be considered an awesome thing. And so it is what it is.
I think everyone here knows how much of a kind soul you are, and how you want to be able to have personal connections and experiences and create memories with people that you care about. And
Right.
because those are what, when you look back on later on in life, those are that's what you're going to remember, are those beautiful memories and experiences that you've created and were able to experience with people that matter the most to you.
Right. The legacy, creating a legacy, which is also the reason why I'm also very, very careful that the legacy I leave behind is a good legacy, and not something that can come back to haunt you, or
No.
I don't control. I don't do any of that. Anyway, I'm finding myself going on a tangent, but look, guys, I see Joey as a star. Okay. And I have so much faith in his ability. It's up to Joey. It's up to the person to decide whether they're ready or not. And so who am I to push somebody, or to push something along when it's not the time? And let's say that this is a one-off. We do this and we're done, and Joey is happy. I'm happy. Joey's my friend. It's not like there's any pressure, or
Sure.
this is to have fun and enjoy, and whatever comes out of it, I let the universe handle that.
You got to remember, everyone's idea
Right.
of happiness is different. And, I'm all for people wanting the best for you.
Right.
But once again, your idea of the best, or your idea of happiness or comfortability, it's up to that person. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to them. And people have to be okay with that.
Right.
I on one side, it's like, wow, that's very, I'm very blessed to know that I have people that care about me, that want to see me succeed and support me, and don't think for a moment that I don't recognize and appreciate it. But also, it's my decision at the end of the day, and
Right.
it's something that I have to decide I want to do.
Your time, and whether or not you feel good about it. Because if you don't, you don't. Okay.
Yeah. If I was unhappy and complaining and saying, "What, I don't know what to do," yeah, that'd be one thing.
Right.
But if I'm doing me, baby, I'm doing me.
Yeah. And me's quite good.
Listen, Sinatra told me at a young age, you got to do it your way. I did it my way.
Right.
You can't have any regrets either, guys. Can't have any regrets.
No regrets at all. And to show that I love everybody, here's the batch code live, and I don't know if you could see my little thumbs up there. There you go. See, I love everybody. I don't
There
care.
you go.
God bless you, Neil. God bless you all, guys. I wish everyone success. Good luck with your. Go after your dream. Go after. You guys. You only live once.
You shouldn't be going after people. You should be going after your dreams, going
Yeah,
after your own happiness.
of course.
You know?
And so what I try doing is I try defaulting. It's hard, but I try to default to wishing people the same success and good health and happiness and wealth as I wish for myself. It's very difficult to do. It's hard. But
Yeah.
if I could default to that, I don't have to go to that place, that awful place where, you become, vomit, diarrhea.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
so back to what we're doing. So what's going to happen is this. I created a limited amount. Tomorrow, I put the order through to Mon for the oil. It's going to take a couple of weeks. It's going to macerate. We're going to fill it, and we're going to put it, and we're going to announce it probably the end of April, which is right around the corner.
It's not that far away.
February, March. So the leather tobacco launches February, and then we have February, March. Yeah, in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. Like once it's sold out, I don't have any. I didn't make enough. I didn't make enough. And Joey saw his box. He saw the box over the weekend. He hasn't seen his bottle yet. It just got printed. So I got to send you the bottle, and I got to send you the whole thing together, Joey.
Yeah, and box very Joey. Go ahead, George.
They're gonna shit.
The box is very Joey Cannoli.
Yeah,
guys, I do have a box.
Very Cannoli Mafia, and what's awesome is it's gonna go all over the world, right? Because of
amazing
the sales distribution of Zaharoff. People are going to see it. People that don't know who you are, they're going to be like, what is this? And I love it. That's kind of what I wanted.
This is an amazing opportunity and moment, and it's a very, very big deal. Especially to everyone. George, you're so hot. To everybody in the mafia. I mean, this is for anyone that loves fragrance, that loves art, that loves George, that loves the live streams,
Mafia,
the Cannoli Mafia. But of course, I have a soft spot for all you guys that are here and have always supported and loved me and laughed and cried and joked with me and talked shit. It's I'm really proud.
We need more. You never know, Lord MyTech.
You'll like it, Eugene. That's all I'm gonna say.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. If you act with the heart, the universe will take care of the rest.
That's right.
How many languages can you say who the fuck is Joey Cannoli in? Well, we will fuck around and find out.
Joey, I have a feeling that, just a weird feeling that this is gonna this is gonna become like a huge one because it's like underground and the nature of it.
It's daring.
Yeah. Because it's it's very daring in the whole concept of it. Like, to give you guys an example, I was thinking at like Exxon's at the Zaharoff booth to have like those glass bowls where you lift and you could smell each of the fragrances. And for the triple X, I was going to put a jock strap in the bowl.
That's bold.
Yeah, I was thinking of I thought of like some really nasty stuff just because I love it, like I do.
And it's the curiosity of it all. You see a jock strap and you're just like, don't smell it. Don't smell it. Smell it. Don't smell it. Don't touch the jock strap. And then next thing you know, I mean, I think we've all smelled the box we shouldn't have in our day. You know what I mean? Like, we've all smelled things that, and you were pleasant. You're going to be pleasantly.
I think so. And you know what? Like, I think I was reading in Frank Grantica or something like that. They were talking about like George said that. George said that this is. George said that this is. Hold on. Hold on, give me a moment. Now,
Take your
Musk.
time. Take your time.
George
Thank
said
you so
this is
much, Chris.
Musk. This is not Musk. Guys, it's not going to be for those really hardcore Musk people. So I was on Concorde once. I was going New York to Paris on Air France, and Terry Mugler walked past me.
Big
He was
rips.
wearing all leather, and Terry, I'm saying like I knew him, but I didn't. But he had a fetish. He had a scent fetish, and so he didn't bathe. So it benefited him because he was a Frenchman too, and they don't bathe anyway. And so that is extreme. That's an extreme fetish. This is an extreme fetish. This is something in celebration of it. Mark Harris is hilarious. He just texted me. I just popped up and goes, "I'm gonna bathe in XXX. You go, boy." And he sent me a video photo of him spraying himself. So, oh my God. So, this is in celebration. So if you like Musk, if you like sticking your nose up someone's asshole or vagina or crotch, this isn't it. I'm just telling you. But it's close. It'll give you the inspiration of it.
Yeah. You're not deep in the ass, but
no,
it dances in the air.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Like
it's fucking amazing.
Does this like this, right? That's beautiful. Made in France.
I'm telling you guys right now, that final decision that we made on that mod, me and George looked at each other and we were like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the one. And I had all of you guys in mind. You know, I was really taking everything into perspective and consideration, and I'm very confident in the choice that we made. 150%.
Yeah, because of all the 7 mods, the 7, as you know, was the extreme. But of all the 7, the one that was chosen, the one that Joey felt the direction, but I also felt the same way, really stands out. It's like listening to AM radio and then FM. It was a huge... you could smell it. It smells rich. It's rich in terms of money. It smells like, it smells. It's a masterpiece, I think. So,
for what it is, total masterpiece.
Yeah.
Total masterpiece.
So,
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I am so excited. It took 7 loads to go into the one that won. Listen, you know, you got to get back in. It gets better, right? When you first have sex, you don't last too long, and you're nervous, and you're not really in that headspace. But then the next time you do it, it gets a little better, and then it gets better and better until it's confident. This fragrance is confident in itself. It knows who it is, what it's all about, and I think when you guys do smell it, you're going to envision it's going to be a perfect vision. I'm really happy.
And so people know that we're not trying to peddle or sell it to the group, because that's not what I want. Whoever got the first round of the XXX, whoever was a part of that, is going to get the final production round, the travel size of it.
Hell yeah.
So as a gift from me. So that way, I don't want anyone who may be in a situation or a position to purchase it. I don't want them to think that, I don't want them to be left out. So that's important to me. This fragrance fucks. It sure does.
Once again, you're creating an experience, and you want everyone you love and everyone to be able to feel like they can be involved and be a part of it.
Right.
It is. It really is it's an experience.
Right. And no, this is actual. I think I saw Kevin. Hi, Kevin. This is a full bottle, like, production run. The boxes have been made. The bottles have been printed. I am placing an order tomorrow with Mon for the oil. It's going to go to a lab, macerate, and then we're going to fill it, and we're going to have it go out into the world. So yes, but those people that may not be able to afford to get a bottle, a 2-ounce bottle, I will give them, if they receive. So we sent out a first set to the Cannoli Mafia members, the first XXX, to see what they thought. Did we send out more than one? Did we do different renditions, or we just sent out the one? Right?
The main one that was in the travel,
Just
that one
one.
we did once. It
One.
was only
Okay.
once.
And so whoever I sent those to and was a part of it, they'll get the triple X the second go around.
Yeah.
Final version, because they were part of the whole vision, the whole, from the very beginning. What is macerate or masturbate? Both.
Both.
Thing. Macerating and masturbating, it's
Hand in hand.
interchangeable.
While you're masturbating, you're actually macerating.
That's right.
And then when you finish, that's your triple X.
There you go. Now, if you want to know what maceration is, I'll explain it to you, but I'm assuming that it's a joke.
Yes. Total joke. Total joke.
Life goes on after this. It's interesting because as things get a little bigger for Zaharov, it makes it a little bit more challenging to do these special projects. And so I hope that I keep doing this. It's important to me because I really enjoyed this. This has been.
It was fun. It
right.
was.
It's only the beginning. You never know, right?
No, you never know. You never know. You put it out into the universe, and we're gonna wait and see.
Here you go, RXL.
Crotch filaments. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, 100%. It really though, 2020. This has been since 2020, George. How does it feel?
Isn't that weird? It's
totally weird. It doesn't feel like that many, that long ago. And here we are. This is amazing.
Yeah,
there's no other word for it. No other way to describe it but amazing. What does the presentation look like?
The wait.
You're gonna have to wait, Ricky. You're gonna have to. Sorry to edge you guys, but.
And Ray Smokey Torres, yes. That's it, indeed. That's it. So.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to get a sample of leather tobacco and triple X and prep to buy. I hate waiting. It'll be worth it. It's good things come to those who wait.
You really could go nuts with all the different variations, and there's so many beautiful different fragrances and mixes, and it's just it's awesome. So anyway, it's been an honor, Joey. It's only the beginning, but I thought it would be good to jump on and just have this talk and tell everyone where we stand with everything. And I'll let you carry on with your night. You're not monetized yet, so I hope that anybody
but
there,
George,
anyone that wants to was it paypal.me/jujub93?
It's paypal.me/jujub93. Ladies and gentlemen, put it right there. We're actually coming up on the 1 hour mark. If you're excited for Triple X, if you're happy to see George and I together, it's a gift. This is a gift. This is a kiss, a chef's kiss.
It's funny that anyway, fun stuff. Good stuff.
There's something I've been wanting to.
Uh-oh. What the heck?
What should I? No. Should I?
What is that? Oh, that's leather tobacco. You're crazy. You had it in your head?
It's my turn, George. You're going to have to take a back seat. If any of you guys have been around over the years, you know that I have a certain style and genre to my fragrances that I like. It's one extreme to another. I love the fresh Aqua di Gio, the clean, but then, I live in a very cold climate, and I have to tell you this, for those of you that know me, you know how big of a fan I am when it comes to leather, when it comes to tobacco. It's two of my favorite notes, just some of my favorite fragrances of all time. Some of my favorite fragrances of all time have those notes in them. And I'm letting you guys know. George, I don't even, you know what? I'm gonna put George back. I'm sorry, George. Do you see? Do you see this? Do you see how fucking beautiful this is? Do you understand? I'm letting you guys know right now, and I know how Fragcom likes their fragrances. This is going to be, without a doubt, your favorite. I don't care. I'm cocky and I'm gonna say it. I'll bring them back. I feel bad. This fragrance is the type of fragrance that makes you want to continue to come back in. There is not many, and I own a lot of bottles, George. George. You've seen my collection.
I sure did. I was in your bedroom.
You, they don't need to know that. What we do in there is a secret. Were you surprised at the collection? Were you almost like, what the fuck is all this?
I wasn't that way. I just think it was cool to be in your home,
Yeah,
and first of all, to have the invitation to come into your home and hang out with Juju and you, and anyway. You have a lot of fragrances, and we need to preface this that Joey and I are friends. He may have a bias, and you can get a sample on. You could get a sample either from Zaharov.com or from Juan
shout outs to my
on
boyfriend.
the Fat Boy Fragrance web store. So just that's a disclaimer that I have to say. It's very important.
It is very important, but I'm gonna say something though too. Yes, we're friends, we're lovers, we're everything in between.
Triple X is a different experience, Ray.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
So when Citrine came out, you guys know me. I love freshies. I love clean. I love citrus. It's just, you guys know. It's my most worn out of all of George's line. Blew through half the bottle in just the summer. But when I received and when I smelled leather tobacco, I knew that this was going to be my winter scent. Without a doubt. It is so sexy. It's dark. It's attractive. It's masculine. It's just I said this to George. I go, this is my favorite of your line. Originally, it was tobacco, and when I smelled this one, I was just like, how are you doing this?
I know,
You know?
right?
It's like the more that you're releasing, the more you're tapping into my taste. If that makes sense, they're getting better. And they were already great in my opinion. There was some that I wore more than others, but this one, especially where I live, even in Chicago, this is like signature scent worthy.
Right.
Um,
And then leather tobacco is a wet tobacco. This is a dry tobacco,
Dry,
and
totally dry.
the name is going to change. So the reason why it's called leather tobacco is because initially that was what I wanted. I wanted to take tobacco and put a leather note and call it leather tobacco, and that turned out beautiful. But I wanted to turn things upside down, and I don't know. This is going to be the last of the fetish, but I wanted a fetish leather and a fetish tobacco. I wanted it to be like um, a cigar and a ball gag, or like if you're in a harness
A leather harness.
and you're smelling the leather, or you're wearing a mask, or whatever you guys do in behind closed doors. I wanted that smell of that black leather
It
and
is so
the
sexy.
smell of a cigar. And so he nailed it. And what's interesting is Claude had came out of retirement for this. And it's incredible because he's not creating fragrances for many different brands. I saw Narcotica, they're very good friends. And so the Claude, so he put the pieces together. But um, Claude gets more and more inspired, and I'm able to tap into that inspiration. Um, And I told him until he stops creating for the signature line, it's his. And when he decides to leave, the signature line will no longer create more fragrances. And so we'll see. I just wanted a sexy leather and cigar. That's right.
Yeah, just imagine sitting in in a new one too. Just a bit like it is a beautiful, what's it, black leather, George. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not a brown leather.
No, it's a leather that would be used in BDSM
Yeah,
type of stuff.
and it's so sexy. It is so sexy. I don't really know, how else to describe the scent. Like there's something sexual in it, not in the sense of triple X sexual, but there's something.
A flogger, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A nice flogger, which you know,
Which I have.
which you have, which we've tried.
Yeah, we've had fun
Um,
with it. I was teaching. I was teaching the men how to use it. But there's a reason why my master dungeon has a black wall, right?
100%. It's very fitting. It's very fitting. Um, I think this is your sexiest fragrance. Um,
Thanks, Joey. I think so too.
I can.
And it's the strongest.
It's I didn't tell George. I remember when I first smelled tobacco, I was just like, this. I was blown away. I was just blown away. It was kind of damp and wet and cold and sweet, and it's so enjoyable. And now smelling leather tobacco, it's mysterious, it's dry, it's very dark, and look at the fucking black cap, guys.
It's a gunmetal.
Guys,
It was
gunmetal finish.
beat blasted. Yeah.
I mean, but just look at the juice is a perfect representation.
That's the natural color.
That's that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I told George, when he brought it and I put it on, I had put 2 sprays on, and it was so strong. I just put 2 on my neck, and it was so strong. Um, and we went out to dinner. We went out to dinner, and I wore leather tobacco, and now I have that scent memory created with the man himself.
Thanks.
It's total badass bottle. Very I
The stuff that
hate.
you see, guys,
Say again, George.
detail is me. Like all of the different bottles, the boxes, it's all me. Like my attention to detail is severe.
Yeah, but it's flawless. You execute it every time, and you bring it to life. Like, let's just
Thank you, Joey.
look at this.
Do you know that says laborare ludure? You know what that means?
Fuck no.
Laborare means to work. Ludure means to play.
Mmm.
To work, to play.
To work to play.
And I'm wearing if you guys see the lions there, it's right here on my, where is it? Right here.
I love it. This I'm gonna try and predict it. I'm not a fortune teller, but I really think that this is gonna be one of your most popular.
Thanks, Joey Cannoli.
Absolutely. People I think are gonna smell it and just be blown away.
I hope so.
DC, it my guy, especially where you live. I'm gonna let you know right now. Game over. It's game over. Like I'd wear this daily. I'd wear this daily. I don't know.
Nice. Thanks, Joey. Is that
You're
a
tapping into my taste, I guess, or just the way that you've released them. And everything that I smell, there's a classiness to it, and it makes you feel good when you wear it. And this is your art brought to life. And people can call it biased or whatever they want, but when your friend creates something, it's got a lot of meaning. It
right?
really leaves. There's a connection.
Creates something, or you have these You have people that you know that have worked very, it's just so we're friends. And so Joey's going to have a bias, of course. So
Totally.
that's why if you want, you could sample it. I don't want people blind buying it. Someone said here if they should get the small bottle, it's 22% EDP, but it's a just I think because the leather and the tobacco is just you only need one spray
Very prominent.
yeah.
The notes are very prominent and they're very strong and to me it's very bold.
Yeah.
It's very bold and yeah, you know what? Whatever works best for you. This is something where the quality of George's frags can definitely get you feeling above your current station of life. Oh, absolutely, Whiff.
Thank you.
Like, I it gives me that pep in my step when I wear it, and yeah,
Yes.
there's a bias, but I've there's been moments where George and I have had private conversations, and I'm like, it's not for me, or it's not really my style, or you know what I mean. It's not all praise and praise and praise. Um, oh yeah, I'm a rebel, Dottie. I'm a loner, RXL. Ordered mine yesterday. You guys are in for a real fucking treat, a real treat. This is a Fraycom fragrance. And when I say that, and George, I don't know if you'll understand what I mean when I say that. A Fraycom fragrance is I like as a whole. If I had to generalize, there's a certain taste, there's a certain style in these men's fragrances that Fraycom really likes to praise and really enjoys. This is in that genre without a doubt. This is great, and I think this is the perfect time of the year to release it as well.
Thanks. I appreciate that. There's so many things going on, and the hours that I'm awake have gotten longer because there's a lot happening, and it's really nice to be able to sit back and relax and watch and to have me on here, which as your guest, thank you for having me, and I
My
love being
pleasure.
part of this, and I listen to the lives while I'm working because it relaxes me a little bit unless the topic is about me.
Then it's kind of hard to listen to because you're like, ah,
It depends on who's said,
who's saying what's being said and who's saying what.
but I try to live my life as a gentleman. I try to live my life as open as possible, and I've just come to it that if some people just don't like me, okay, God bless you.
Yeah, listen, not everyone is gonna like you, and that's okay.
Right.
Not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone likes me. And I don't like everyone either.
But
But
you'll never hear me
I try to
say
treat people with respect.
anything bad about someone. You'll never hear me call someone a name. You'll never hear me do that. I won't do it. So I try to treat everyone with dignity, and I don't need to sit here and sell myself, so I'm not going to. So thanks for having me,
Well,
Joey.
this definitely isn't the place to do that, right?
Right.
I George is part of the family. He's part of the mafia.
Thank you.
He's my best friend. He's someone that I value and I really care about. And you just don't find a lot of people.
Joey.
I don't know. I've gone through a lot of friends in life. I don't like you, Joey. You suck. Yes, I do, Skels. Yes, I do. I don't like Heather Green, and it's okay. RXL, I support that. That's an interview I'd like to have. A Heather Green RXL interview live stream coming to you in the future.
Right.
A real
So,
meeting.
so there's a lot of there's not a lot, there's a few fragrances in the future, but the problem is that I decided to want to expand and open up other markets. And in doing so, I have the fragrances that are existing and they're being made in the larger size in France. It's huge. It's like I just started a whole new company and all new staff, and there's legalities and taxes and accounting and all sorts of stuff. And so
It's a lot that goes into it.
I want to do extreme, but I have to now focus on my launch for the fall. And out of all the fragrances, I have to pick 6 to launch in Italy, and so for me to come up with an extreme and to come up, so I have to pace myself. So I hope the extreme to come. The extreme was made for the Middle East market, so we'll see. And there's a Privé. I gave Joey a bottle of my Privé, and they're gonna think, Joey, they're gonna think I'm paying you, and I'm not.
I'm actually buying a new house next week, guys.
Yeah,
Shout outs. No. George pays me in other ways. Can we say that?
huh?
I said you pay me in other ways.
Yeah. That's why you needed a new chair.
Yeah. Where do you think this? You think I could afford this with put it right there's? Actually, I did. Listen, let me take off my glasses. Let me just. Can I tell this story? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, you fuckers. Where is it? Give me 2 seconds. It's in my bag because I was wearing it.
Thank you, Kevin. And it's hard. It's hard when I see like there's certain people. Anyway, I want to bless everybody. Just bless and love everybody. I want peace. Just want
George,
peace.
you continue to bring joy and happiness and your art to this community and to the live streams and just in life in general.
Right.
And you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you, Joe.
You are doing an amazing job. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it.
You guys want story time?
Yeah. Tell a story. Look at these comments. I'm a new owner of Leather Tobacco.
Thank you, Catch my word. Thank you, guys.
You're a beautiful man, George. Keep being you, brother. George is the definition of loving and kindness. I just caught that I wrote from George.
Hi, JH. Thank you, Joy. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, James.
Look at George hates it. You can always tell. You can always tell if someone.
Love you, Chris. Thank you. Yes, I went over there and put it right there.
Yeah. I rated it a 5 out of 5, and I left a Yelp review. It was still it was very fresh. You could tell that it was just cleaned. It was great. I really enjoyed it. But I want to tell a story. So I'm in the car. Shout outs to Driving in Cars with Boys. Who remembers that movie? I'm in the car and I'm smelling something. And I'm like, what is that? I don't. It smells really fucking good, but I don't recognize it. It's not something that I had ever smelled before. And what's up, everybody? I see you guys. All of a sudden, I go, George, do you wear fragrances like outside? Because when you're an artist and when you're a creator and you're making your own scents, you're smelling them all the time. You're creating it. You're almost married to them. They're like your kids, even. You know what I mean? They're just around you all the time. It's always there. And I go, George, do you? And he goes, yeah, of course. Blah blah blah. And yeah, I wear fragrances. And I go, well, what is that you're wearing? And he looks at me and he goes, oh, this is my Privé. This is my own.
Yeah, you said to me, do you wear other fragrances? And I go, not really. Like you said, George, do you wear other companies' fragrances?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said.
No. And then you go, what are you wearing?
And he said it was his own. And I was legitimately shocked. One, I had no idea. Genuinely, I had no fucking clue. And it's different. I'm going to use the word different. And different in a good way. Not different in like, oh, I don't know, it's different. No. There's something that sets it apart, in my opinion. It just had this very inviting. I smelt it like floating in the air, and I was getting whiffs of it. I think we were driving, and I was getting whiffs of it. And I go, fuck, this smells good. And that's why I brought it up in the first place. I go, what are you wearing? And it's his Privé. And I was blown the fuck away.
And Privé is a private blend that worked and developed with Claude, and it has that's going to be more of like high. It's a high
right
perfumery, right? Would you say?
It's on another, what is it called? Echelon. It is high perfumery. It is a different ball of wax. I hate saying those kind of terms. When you smell it, you're going to know that this is on another level. This is there's luxurious, and then there's like, oh wow, exclusive. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
there's no plan. I don't know when the plan is for that. So I wear it, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the future holds with that. But like when I see Joey, it's good to share. You know, it's good to share all this stuff.
yeah, and he didn't say anything to me. You know, he was just wearing it, and I actually approached him, and I'm like, what the hell are you wearing? It smells fantastic.
Right.
It smelled different, and that's what I mean when I keep saying the word different. I was just like, this is phenomenal. I put some on the next morning or later that night. I'm trying to remember,
Right.
and I was like, this is just. When you wear certain fragrances, some fragrances, I should say, make you feel better than you are. Is that weird?
Right. Well, that's
And
supposed to be. That's what you would like fragrances to do, right? To take you somewhere.
it took me somewhere. And when I smelled this fragrance, I was like, fuck, it gave me that boost of confidence, that extra pep in my step. I felt like I was somebody, you know? I felt like, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate to use things like important or because your fragrances are classy, but this one was just different. It was different. And I'm still, you know, experiencing and getting to know it and understand. And it's just in a different league.
Yeah.
It's in a completely different league.
And
So
because
when
of
you have like luxury products,
right, and it needs. That's why it's a private blend, and that's why it needs to have its own packaging and
that's a good word.
bottle and all of that. You know, and so
I'm lost for fucking words. I'm gonna be honest. I can't pinpoint it, but it made me feel fucking good. It made me feel like Halle Berry and Monsters Ball. You know, like Billy Bob Thornton, Halle Berry. Like when I wore it, I smelled it, and there's only a few fragrances that do that to me.
right,
I own hundreds of colognes, and they smell good. But sometimes, and you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sometimes you wear something, and you're like, whenever I wear this, I feel success. I feel confident. I feel strong. You walk with your chin a little higher. You got your chest out. You know what I mean? You kind of have a little, and that is the best way to describe Privé. Um, and I can't, you know, I'm talking about leather tobacco and how I love it. But then when I talk about Privé, I don't associate it with anything else in your line. Do you know what I mean?
that's why it's not part of the signature line, and that's why I was telling you that this it has to have its own story.
Yeah.
And so the Privé line, I have in my head an idea of what I want it to be, and there's about 3 fragrances that have already been made. But the Privé, the one that you have is the launch for it. I was inspired by that. It's expensive. It's not the same price as the other fragrances in the lineup.
No. And nor should it. Because when you guys experience it, you're gonna understand what makes it as great as it is, and you're gonna be able to, in my opinion, you're gonna be able to understand why it's in a different league than
Right.
the others. And we'll talk about kicking open the fucking door and just walking in with the big dick energy. Yeah, man, it gives you confidence, I
Right.
guess. It's a good. Will Noir ever get a remix as BC?
So I have to obviously I have to make mention of the elephant in the room because it's
I'll leave.
in front of my face. And this is going to be the last time because I don't know what else I could do. But DB, I have not spoken to you in 3 years. I wish you the best. I have not spoken bad about you. I've never said anything derogatory about you. I want the best for you. I wish you the best. I wish you nothing but success and happiness and good stuff. I don't know what I could do for you.
He says, haven't said a thing, leave it be.
I just
all
want
right.
I
Leave it
just
be.
want peace. I honestly want peace. Even with thing going on. I still haven't spoken. But Joey, have I said a bad thing about DB to you, or have I said anything?
We talk a lot, and I don't think you've ever mentioned anything. That
I don't.
and I'm telling the fucking
And some
God's truth,
of the things
keeping it
that
100.
I am.
Put it on my father.
I cannot control what other people do. I can't. I don't go through life doing that. I have peace in my heart.
But I think I want to jump in. I think DB knows that because oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, here's what I think.
I don't want. Hold on. I need to have this discussion. It's very important
All
to
right,
me.
I'll be quiet.
DB, I said to you when I got on there, someone had posted that. Like you left me in a weird position because even if I said, you know, like I told Joey this, Joey and I were talking, I go, Joey, I feel like I'm locked in a position. Like if I say, DB, yeah, I did it just to keep the peace, just to go get on with life. I don't know if now it's going to be, see, George Zaharoff lied and I told you so. And so I'm left in this weird position of, oh my God, what do I do? Like, I never called you a liar. I never said that you weren't telling the truth. I tried to explain my position and say, you know what? That I don't, back in that time period, I was vocal to some people and I said, that doesn't make sense, this and that. I don't even know who Armoff is. I never, Joey, did I ever mention Armoff? Ever?
No, these are conversations that we never had. Never, none of that had ever happened.
And I have no
I do want
problem.
to say
You know
a
what?
couple things.
And whatever that story is, I never called you a liar. I never called you any names. And so
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
You just want to get it off your chest. We don't have to rehash anything. You're just expressing. I think it's fair that you know, and I wanted DB to be able to get things off of his chest. You know what I mean?
Like I want him to be successful. I want DB
Yeah.
to do great things. And DB, let me just doing this for 30 years, and you went into, you know what? You went into my bankruptcy. I was supposed to sell my company to Escada, and it was for quite a lot of money. And I had, because at that time, I had a huge business. And so you have debts to the bottle people, to the cap people, to the box people. And Escada said it took a year and a half to come to a contract. It took trips to Switzerland and France, back and forth at that time. So when you have Escada telling the box and bottle people, you know what, we're gonna pay for this. Go ahead and produce this product, and we'll pay for it when we take over. When the day of signing the contract was 9/11, I lost everything in 3 months, and I was left with millions of dollars in invoices. That what can I do? And at that time, from 9/11 to the end of December, it was a nightmare when it came time to the retailers. And I had such a big business, I had let go of my infrastructure with the anticipation of Escada taking over. Like, there's a lot to this. It isn't just like someone would think like it's just a bankruptcy. And I mean, this was a lot. There was a lot at stake. There was a lot of money at stake. There was taxable things that were included in this. And so there's a lot more to this. And I have no problems explaining it right now. I have nothing to hide. And I'm sure, DB, that you went in there in the computer and you pulled all my, I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. I have been designing and creating since I was in a senior year at DePaul. And it's not easy to do what I do, especially with the economy this way. Oh my God, think about it, in 30 years. The stores I sold to that don't exist anymore, the having to survive and having to, you know, having licenses, and these big companies that file bankruptcy and release you of your license, and I'm still trying to find a way to survive and be relevant and create beautiful things. And so the one thing, though, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
through this all, is the down parts of my life, the big companies and big executives helped me because I always move through life being a gentleman. I take pride in that.
Sure.
And I don't lie. I don't cheat people. When I tell someone I'm going to do something, I do it. Joey, are there any contracts between me and you? Do we have we agreed to anything? Have we signed
No,
anything?
no,
Have I controlled? No.
no.
And that's with everyone. I go through life trying to be as a gentlemanly as possible. And sure, I'm out there. I interact with everybody in the community. Of course, there's going to be one person doesn't like this person. If you talk to that person, I
Right. It's
won't do
normal.
this for you. And why are you doing that? And why you? But it doesn't mean that like I have to be in a position where I'm like Jesus Christ. I want to love everybody.
Right.
It's hard sometimes.
So, I had nonsense on here, and it's good to see you. Hello. Couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of flack for it. And all I was trying to do.
Bring them on. It's fine.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna drop because I haven't dropped the link all night. I can't imagine how stressful that was, George. It's important.
It's okay. It's done. It's the past. It's my
Right.
past. And everything has built upon it on top of the other. And I'm proud of the person I am today. I've had to fight to be where I'm at today. Because, yes, I think DB had said it once. I did lose everything. But you know what? What you do, you pick yourself up and you keep doing it.
You try to keep going.
You have to.
And DB, DB picked himself up, dusted himself off, and he's trying to get by and do his thing. And I'm dropping this link is just for DB guys.
And there's not going to be drama. I won't do it.
No. You guys, I just want you guys to be respectful to everyone on the panel. It's just for DB. I don't want to have to kick you guys. This is just me, DB, and George. So thank you. I have DB right here. I'm going to add him on right now. How you doing, DB?
Doing good. How are you, George?
Good. I'm good.
So I'm a little bit emotional for other things, but the things you're saying, they've always meant a lot. So first of all, I don't hate you, don't hate anybody. So with this being said, I just want to say this one thing that I have to get off my chest as to why things end up the way they are. And I hope this makes sense to you. I'm done fucking with you, George, in a bad way. I'm just done with it. I thought about a lot of things after Ross had come on and apologized. And I said to myself, I let too many people dictate my emotions instead of being a man and handling my own fucking emotions. I let people put me in a place I don't like to be. And I say this to everybody, and I mean this sincerely. If you ask my family, I'm 90% a dumbass laughing retard. That's what I am. I'm a goofball. This isn't me. This drama shit is not me. I hate it. I have PTSD. This has done nothing but screw my PTSD to high hell. And it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to other people. But listen to me when I tell you this, George. I just want to say this, and this is from the bottom of my heart. When I talk to you, every time I'd ever talk to you, there was one person involved in our conversations almost every damn time. And that person has done nothing, George, but talk a lot of shit about you. A lot of shit about you, brother. I'm telling you, all this stuff that I say is just echoes from that person. I'm not even going to say his name. You already know who he is. That person's always echoing in my ear every time I get angry at people pushing my buttons. And all I can remember is almost every time me and George, and they were all 95% of them, brother, they were good conversations. I felt like, damn, I'm finally getting to know George and because everybody had talked. I didn't know who the hell George Zaharoff was, man. I didn't know indie houses, man. When I grew up, it was polos, man, and those cheap preferred stock knockoffs. You know what I mean? That's all I ever knew. So I get into this fragrance business, and man, if I knew that this is why I don't put out my fragrances out with reviewers anymore, because I don't want people involved in the static that comes with my past, because people can't leave it the fuck alone. But that man, George, he tries to ruin you more than help you, man. And I'm done with that bullshit too, because I can't stand the fucking guy. I'll never be able to stand the guy. I thought that me and TLTG Ross, I thought we were like the bitter people, and I did a lot of thinking, and I'm like, this is just my central fire starter, if that makes sense. Every damn time that man opens his damn mouth, it's always negative, and I let it affect me, and that's not fair to you. So I don't know how many people are watching and paying no attention. I was actually getting ready to go to sleep, but I have no ill will toward you. I'm done. Videos of you, I'm taking down, dude. Just don't give a fuck anymore.
DB, is your girlfriend listening to this on the sidelines?
No, my girlfriend's asleep.
Okay. Because I just wanted to make, it would be important to me that someone you love listens to this conversation, because DB, from the bottom of my heart, I want the best for you. I
know that.
Care about your past. And when we were talking, I said, embrace who you were in the past, because you're no longer that now, you know? So I never had a problem with any of that. And I think and I saw that packet that you showed of the orders, and that was, and I'm like, wow. And the only thing I could think of was if people, so how do I say this? Like, okay, I have a lot in my head here. I could tell that you've been through a lot. I could tell, and I approach it with compassion. And when I talk to Joey, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, how can I solve this? Ross is one of my closest friends, and you saw how he approached you. If he was around hate and I was talking bad about you, do you think Ross would have gotten in and acted the way he did towards you? Like, no. Because you're around people, the people you surround yourself with. If you're around love, and you're going to have people you're going to be loving, right? And what you wanted to do is say, okay, let's have some peace. And I want that for me too. I want peace. So a couple of things. So the one thing that I've learned that is just brilliant, DB, is isolate the chaos. When chaos comes in, it could overtake you, and you become emotional. And imagine that chaos, put it in a corner and isolate it. And it might help a little bit, because you, like, when you talk about your fragrances, like when you put a video out about your fragrances, and you talk about your oils and your inspiration, it's like, wow, he lights up. He really loves what he does.
It's passion.
I do. Passionate.
Right. And you know, DB, I'll tell you, if you have that, and you never mind the chaos and the noise, you're gonna see how much your roster grows, because whatever's in the past is in the past. You know what I mean? And
so this here, and I know this ain't much to somebody like George Zaharoff, but that there is 2022.
DB,
looky here.
That's how it begins.
This is 2 years before that. So,
but that's incredible.
Right. Look at it where you started, and look at where you are now, and look how it's.
And let me tell you, your name is on something that people are going to have on their dressers and in their showers. You know, you do shower conditioner. I see what you're doing, and I'm like, you know, I don't think you realize how big your business could be. No. Especially if you were to just say, this is who I was. I'm no longer that person.
Yeah, and I have George, but you know and you were the inspiration to put out the video saying why I left the white power movement. I did that, you know, and then, you know, I said something about this particular person, and all I did was just call him, I think it was like shill or something. And then that dude comes and gets on somebody else's live and just calls me a bigot, a Jew hater, whatever, anti-Semitic, whatever could come out of his mouth. And, you know, this is people, there's like hundreds of people watching this video. That damages the shit out of me. And I'm not going to lie, I was taking him to court until I realized, you know what, I just don't give a fuck anymore. And that's the truth. I know I lied and said he ain't worth much, which he isn't. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I wish people, I've said this before, I've said this in all my videos. If people would just leave me the fuck alone, I would leave everybody else alone. But there's always these people that are either jealous, hateful. I don't know. I don't think you can be jealous of a clone house, but if you are, well, why? Create it yourself, you know?
So, because I've been doing this a long time, and I love looking at someone and building a brand around it and coming out with a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were to somehow just embrace it and say, that isn't me anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
let me introduce you to who I am today. Like you
Mm-hmm.
segue.
Like I brand it.
No matter what happens, and I know that who also has a big tough time like this is inmates. They leave prison, they do their time, and they're back in the world, and
Right. The world changed.
And they're like, oh my God, and then they try to get a job, and that's
right.
That's how we were in the military. It's the same difference. It's always, you get out of the military, I'm a grunt. I can't fire 240 Gulfs in civilian life. It's hard to adjust. I come from a family where my father had told me I was a piece of shit and I would never amount to anything. And I heard this probably at least 2-3 times a week. And the biggest amount of pride, and I think what gets me the most is when people try to throw that same kind of shade my way. And I feel like I have to reprove myself again.
Right.
So my dad never graduated high school. I graduated high school, went to college, joined the Marines. My dad had one successful business for 6 months. I've had 2. And I think I'm just done proving to people who I am and what I can be. And it's just always feeling like I have to defend myself. And I know I don't, but we're human and that stuff gets to you. And it's like, I don't know what else I have to do. It's like, dude, I burnt a Klan uniform on a video. I mean,
right.
People could be knocking at my door right now, shooting it up if they wanted to, but yet you got people like him who still want to spew stupid shit. And it's like, man, get a life, go somewhere and help yourself out, get some mental help or something. And just, I don't know, dude, find a way to get comfortable within yourself or something. You know what I mean? Get a hobby. I don't know, man, but quit hating everybody and causing so much damn drama.
So when we first met and we were talking, I got barraged with messages saying this guy is X this, he's a this, he's a that. And if you talk to him, the entire community is going to block you.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3 months into the community and I freaked out.
Yeah.
So I blocked you. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like shit because I don't do stuff like that. And it was Christmas time. And I said to Neil, can we please do a 3-way? Because Neil, you were talking with Neil at the time and the 3 of us. And I go, can you please just be on a 3-way? Because I just needed someone there to have the 3 of us talk. And I said to you, I'm very sorry. I go, it's not.
Yeah, you did.
It's not always. Like, it's not normal. You don't get people saying, like, you don't meet a lot of people with your past, right?
Right.
And I freaked out, and I apologized to you, and I go,
you sure
listen,
did. Yeah.
I'm very sorry. That's not who I am. But because of the past that you've had, I think it behooves you to just, like, accept it and know that, okay, it's going to come with hate, but I have to say, you have to have in your head you have to have in your head a way of like statements in your head ahead of time saying, that's not who I am anymore. I have fixed my life, and here are my creations. Like, you have to turn it around, my opinion, and put it into that energy of, look at what I create, because from what I hear from you, like, even your names are kick-ass. Like Greedy, you have Greedy King, I think it's called. And
Greedy King. Yeah.
I mean, you have some really kick-ass names, and so you're very creative. And so it's transmutation. You're taking that energy, the Kaka energy, and you're transferring it, and you're transmuting it into your creations. And I think that if you're in a space where you just accept your past, okay, this is who, you know what, that was the past. I'm not like that anymore. I am out of that. Joey, don't you think?
100%. And DB, I don't know you very well. But I can tell you this much, man. Listen, people are never going to, there's going to be some people that no matter what you do, they will never forgive you for your past.
Right.
No, never. I know that. Yeah.
And you know that, right? You know that.
Of course.
I'm reading the chat, and it's so divisive with all the different comments and different perspectives. Everyone changes. I'm not the same person from 20 years ago. I think I've become better, and I try to be. Kudos to anyone that betters themselves. Much respect. You know, and then you have comments from Bilbo saying, I wish it was tattooed on your forehead. Children learn what they live, and that's hard to escape. If the learn is negative, no matter what, you're gonna get support.
Correct.
And you're gonna get destruction. And it's just one thing that I've seen is it's so much easier to give into the negative and want to clap back and cross the line. But you got to remember that you're trying to build a business, and you're trying to be a better man and rebuild a life, and people are always going to judge you.
Let me just tell you something. Look at DB, and you see someone who's been through hell, right? And for me, I want to preface this by saying that he's another human being. He's a soul, and he's like, there has to be compassion regardless. There has to be. And so the divisiveness that are happening with people, and I just think that you have to, if you want to put yourself out there and you want to create fragrances with your name on it, which is something that you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, it's my name.
Right, and there has to be a coping mechanism, and I think that fighting it back with hate, all it does, or anger, or name calling, I think all it does is it festers it, and it increases,
it's
and it grows.
It's a sphere. It continues to roll. It doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
It's a vicious cycle.
So listen. So here's what I want to say, and I mean this sincerely. I'm a man. When I do shit fucked up, I admit it. So forgive me for putting your name associated with somebody else. And I've been thinking about this for the last week, probably since what is it, Joey? About a week I've been on here. You know, it's wrong, and it's semi-evil, you know, and I'm just done. My PTSD can't handle it. I can't keep feeling like I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter, and I mean physically and mentally. I've always been a fighter. But damn, there's sometimes where there's fights you can't win.
But hold on a minute. But listen, I'm a fighter too. But I put all that fight into my products, into my customers. Use that energy to fight that fight, because the world out there is harsh. And you saw what happened to me, right? I was selling all over the world, and in one day I had these big companies crush me. You have to keep fighting. It's the kind of fight. It's transmutation. It's a great word. Take that energy and put it into growing yourself.
Right.
You're a fighter. I'm a fighter too. You'd be surprised, you know, like you have to fight, right? Take that energy and fight the good fight, and put out some kick-ass products, and you're building your brand, and what you're putting out there is your brand, and you're going to attract like-minded people. And if some people don't agree with your message or whatever the case, so be it. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. But it must be exhausting, because you're fighting everybody. You're angry. You're going to bed that way.
Right.
And it can't be good for you. And then the ripple effects of the energy that you're putting out goes into the universe, and it finds me in my car, it finds me in my office, it finds me here talking to Ross, Joey or Ross, and just saying, oh my God, what can I do? And so I promise you, if you're able to do this, I promise you, your business is going to increase. I promise you, DB. So I want you to know this.
Yeah, it's cancerous to the body. Shit will kill you.
Yeah, it is. It is.
From today, whatever's in the past, I forgive you. I have it in my heart. I forgive you. And if there's anything that I have done in the past, anything that I have said, done, action, anything, I'm sorry, and I hope you could forgive me too.
I already have. And the thing is that, you know, I've had this philosophy since I've been young that, and it's an old saying I have, I don't fight to get even, I fight to win. But, you know, George, like I said, thinking about it for as long as I have, it's stupid and ignorant of somebody to take such small things and create. It's like sending two people to war against an army of 2,000. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know, you sent your army of two, and I'm sending an army of 2,000. The fight's not fair. You know, and to, you know, I looked over all of our messages and shit, and you know, just a overwhelming amount of guilt, you know, it hit me, and I can't believe I'm just not that kind of person to let other people trigger me. I'm just really not, and it hasn't been that way since I joined this fragrance community. That, you know, from day one, you know, just bad vibes all over the place. I should have left and just let it be, but I had a passion, you know, and I like knowing things. For instance, I found out I'm part of. I got Viking blood in me. I never knew that shit. That makes a lot of sense as to why I'm drawn towards Norse paganism and not Christianity. It makes tons of sense. I always like to gain knowledge. I like to be a smart man. I like to. I don't want to say know it all, but I always believe knowledge is power. So I stuck in these groups to gain knowledge of fragrances, which has helped me in my business.
Right.
But at the same time, the negative stuff hit me so fast and so hard. I'm like, damn. I mean, George, you know, I mean, everybody says this is just scented water. And in the long aspect of it all, it is. And we're going to blast somebody's personal past over scented water, over mistakes that I've more than corrected. And that's how evil things can be. And from that point on, and this is like 4 years. I've just let that shit fester and fester and fester. And I even told people that were sending me this messages, hey, somebody's on there and they're talking about you. I have to keep fighting that urge not to get on and feed into their negativity. I know by giving them, saying shit and egging them on, it just gives them more power. Then other people see the evil shit I do. I know this shit. But when you're pissed off, you don't think about that shit until you've already done fucked up shit. And then you have to come back and say you're sorry. I tell my kids this all the time. If you just don't do fucked up shit and think about it before you do it, you don't have to say I'm sorry. And look what I'm doing. So,
you know what, DB, I want to tell you something. It's interesting. Like all the things that you just said about being Viking and all this other stuff. I mean, I would use that to build my brand and market my products and what DB Sensation is all about. And you know, there's one thing that you might want to consider, and that's meditating or praying, because it really helps clear out the negativity. Because at the end of the day, it just comes down to coping, your coping mechanisms. And if you're able to handle that, you're going to be a king. You're going to, because whatever it is, your past is your past. People are going to think that way. And I think validating the way someone feels, I think it might be a little better than fighting it, because all it does is it just increases the and it just rises more and more, you know. So I don't know. I wish you peace. And you know what?
Same.
You should fight for your peace of mind. And anything, I will allow no person's opinion, no influence to enter my mind which is not harmonized with my purpose. Anything that doesn't harmonize with your purpose, it should be out of sight, out of mind. And just focus on whatever you're at doing and whatever your goals are and whoever you are now. Because now I feel like I'm talking to DB, the real person. Honestly.
For real.
Joey, will you agree?
100%. I think closing off and not giving an opportunity for someone to tell their story. You know, I see all the bullshit and the back and forth that goes on here, and it takes two to tango. It's not just a one-sided attack. You can't. This is my opinion and perspective. There's no sense in fighting fire with fire. We've heard that term before, and I really feel like that's what it comes down to. You're trying to be better. You're trying to make a business and look at it. It's grown. You showed me that envelope, and you see that it's grown. You know, I had you on here about a week ago, and I'm trying my best to just do the right thing and be a decent person, and people need to have conversations. They need to talk it out.
And that's the thing, you know, that mostly kills me is that, you know, a lot of these people, I didn't know who this Whiskey Reaper guy was to save my life until somebody had come on and said, "Hey, somebody's on there talking about you," and they didn't even know who the other guy was. And like I'm getting on here and I'm like, damn, he's just straight up bashing my character. You know what I mean? And putting out stuff all over the internet. That stuff doesn't go away. Like me and Ross had talked about, 4.5 years ago when Ross made videos with me, he may delete them off his account. We're entangled forever. The shit doesn't go away.
When it's out there, it's out there.
I mean, I spent damn near a year with Google to get all of this shit about my past off. I can't get some of it off because some of the stuff on there is Russian, and I don't have any contacts in Russia to get the shit off. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking, man, I get ahead of this. Try, put my tattoos, cover them up, be done with it, move on. Man, I've contacted so many people to help me out to cover these tattoos. Erasing Hate is a big group that does it. Totally ignored me. Just said, fuck you, move on. Tried to work with some tattoo artists to see if I can't, maybe get some payment plans, get them all covered up. And they're like, nah, dude, whoever did the work before you did shitty work, I can't cover that up. Dude, you can't win. People like me can't win.
DB, what you just said, do you understand how much merit that has?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand what you just said? Like saying, I've tried to get these off, but no one will help me. And if anyone else, there's anyone out there that wants to do it, I'm here. That alone, I mean, like, I'm sorry. I think
that's right, Jonathan.
And I think the room has a lot of. I'm seeing more. I think that things are turning now, and I'm seeing more compassion towards you on this. I think it's heavy.
It is. It's heavy, real heavy.
And I have my own trauma in childhood, and I've had 30 years of therapy. And have you ever seen when a snake sheds its skin, or when a lobster? There's a great video on there when a lobster sheds its skin.
Yeah, they're shiny, new.
DB, you go for a walk tomorrow. Hold your girlfriend's hand. Go alone, whatever, and close your eyes. And you need to shed your skin. You have to.
I agree.
Leave that old DB and your story and your history. It has to go behind you.
Yeah.
And have certain things in your head that be ready. Okay, so it's on Google. You've tried. I know this is the first time you're saying all this stuff. Do you understand that what you just said holds so much merit compared to maybe some other hateful things that go out into the universe, right?
Yeah.
Just, I've tried to. If anyone could help me, I'm right here.
Right.
But that's not who I am. That's my past. I've changed. And let me introduce you to my passion.
Yep.
And go right into your fragrances. Don't give power to the things that change you and doesn't harmonize with who you are today. Because it's easy to wound you all up and say, see, he's the same person he was back then. He hasn't changed. Look. And then all it does is it gets you more angry because I'm not that person. And
hate, just because you don't hate certain races doesn't mean that hate doesn't come out of your mouth to make people think that. I've understood that for a long time. It took a real good friend of mine to say, you know what, man, because me and this guy, we had some big time issues, and he was on TikTok, and he finally called me up one day, which I always prefer. I've always given my phone number out, just call, and he finally called me up and he's like, hey man, he's like, I don't think you're a racist anymore, but do you understand that when you throw out that vitriol and that hate, he said, you may not be thinking that way, but that's how it comes out of your mouth. So what do you think the first thing people are going to think? Exactly what you just said.
That's right.
So,
because that's all they're seeing. That's all they're seeing. So, and instead of saying, I mean, let me just tell you what you just said. Like when you said, I've tried to take the tats off. I've tried to do this. I've tried to do that. No one can help me. I've tried. Oh my God. It's like, wow, he's actually trying. And so just that alone is a big deal, because you're going to have people at first glance say, holy shit.
That's what I get. That's what I get every time.
I'm not that anymore.
Yeah.
I have worked very hard to try to straighten my life out.
Mhm.
Let me show you what I'm passionate about. These are my
Right.
fragrances. My favorite is this. People will see you for who you are.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's why I got so many. That's why I got so many friends that aren't white. Is because they all know. I do lots of things that other people don't know about. That I don't. Uh, I try not to be a braggadocious person. I've never been the kind of person to brag. But I work with, Gays Against Groomers. One of the real good friends of mine, and he's a gay guy. I bodyguard for the guy. I help him out in any way I can. There's a black guy who's a real good friend of mine. He's getting ready to come out with a podcast, and what he likes to do is he likes to find not just white people, but anybody who has those kind of racist past or some kind of gang past or something like that, and likes to bring them out. I've shared my story in many of interviews with this guy. This guy's like, he's fucking amazing. He's like, dude. And the thing is, you know, it's hard for people, and I think about it myself. It's hard for people to see how somebody can be so vile, so ignorant, so hateful,
Right.
and how you turned it. People think I did it just like that. George, it took me years to get all that, them pre misconceptions out of my mind of how people, when you got that stuff in your head, you can't just, it just doesn't go away. Those preconceived notions of how people are, you just see them for their color. Oh, that's the kind of, no, dude. It took me 3 years fighting, bro, every day. And I don't believe in demons, but I just felt like every day was a demonic day trying to get that shit out of my brain. It was a fighting force. It's like good and evil met. But when it finally happened, it's like I was in Hawaii and went to Antarctica. It felt so invigorating. I felt like I've spent time in prison, but I didn't realize I was that handcuffed until I took the fucking things off and threw them away. And I'm like, damn, bro, this feels so good to walk around and actually look at people and see them for what they were. Martin Luther King said that he would love to see a day where his children were judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And I kept saying to myself, now that means something. You know what I'm saying? It's like all those things rush you. You feel so free and you build these relationships that are everlasting. I hardly have any white friends. I don't care what friends I make. It's hard for me to make friends, but this whole world opens up and you're saying to yourself, look at all the shit I've been missing 12 years of my life just because of things you've learned and things you've been through. I disliked Jews from being in a foster home. The lady was a Holocaust survivor. My last name is Breidendorf. It's German. I don't know if my German last name triggered this lady, but she allowed her sons to beat the shit out of me, drag me up the stairs by my hair, drag me down the stairs by my hair, pull me out of the bed by the head of my hair, kick me in my ribs. The whole year that I stayed there, I was never physically right. I had knots on my head. I had blood coming out of my nose sometimes. I had busted bruises and shit on my kneecaps, all because of my last name. And that stuff follows you through life.
Right.
Now, I also feel like I've always been the kind of person now as I'm older, I don't let the past define me. I can't let the past define me because if I did, I'd still be a sorry son of a bitch like I used to be. So people don't know the traumatizing things that can happen in somebody's life to turn them a certain way. And they don't know where that hate comes from. And then when you try to talk to them about it, it's like, well, that don't make any sense. Yeah, it does. It's trauma. That stuff follows you throughout your life. But we can't let, you can't be a product of your environment. And I hear people say that, and I think that's a scapegoat. And I used that scapegoat. I became a product of the environments that I was in. But it just feels so good, the relationships you built. I've got so many friends that I've made who are Hispanic through my business. Long-lasting friendships. One of the guys got like 80% of my collection. If you don't know, I have 178 blends. If you have 80% of my collection, you're doing great, So
Maybe I think that if you're able, because I think just because people are going to approach you with preconceived notions, you have to be twice as beautiful inside,
Right.
twice as nice, twice as kind, twice as sweet. And who you are, like what you're saying right now, I can't imagine, because I don't know what it's like to be born into the situation you were born in and to go through what you go through and the trauma. And it's
Mhm.
like if you have a dog and you're not a dog, I'm
Right.
just
I
saying,
know what it's saying. Yeah.
and you beat the dog as it's for age 1, 2, 3, it's gonna be a nasty ass dog as
It's
they
going to
get
bite back.
older. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is. And what you were able to do, I don't want to compare you to a dog. I didn't like that comparison, but you,
Nah, that didn't bother me either.
if you grow up with a lot of, I'm sorry, forget about the whole dog thing. If you grow up as a child with hate and getting beaten up and having certain circumstances, you're going to grow up being hateful. And then as
Mhm.
you get older, you're like, well, why am I like this? I
Yep.
don't want to be this way. But it's going
Yep.
to be, like you said, you know what? When you were talking, it reminds me of addiction, like a
It
drug
is.
addiction.
I've said that before.
And so I think that you've come out the other side, and it's something that's familiar to me as well. And I think that if you're able to not let situations trigger you and just accept whatever the past is, the past is. I think you've accepted it already.
I accept it. Yeah,
I
I
know you
accept
do.
it.
I know you do. I think what triggers you is when someone calls you out on it. And I think instead of coming at it with, I think
Yeah,
it's just,
right.
I know. I mean, everything that you said now, I think that everyone in the room has a lot of compassion for you. I didn't see the comments, but I'm starting to see it turn.
Mhm.
And and I hope that that continues. And I hope people see you for who you are. And you know what? The nicer you become, by the way, and like the more you're able to be in that space, you're going to create shit. You're going to be thinking of all sorts
I
of
do it.
stuff. Your
I do it
business
all
is
the
going to
time.
expand, all of that.
It's like me and my girlfriend, we get together, and I remember the other day I came out with a blend called, well, I came out with a blend, and I didn't know what to call it. You know, and me and my girlfriend's a great woman. Been a blessing to me. I was on the road to severe depression. My medicine wasn't taking it. If it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be any joy. But so I was thinking about this blend, and I put it together, and I'm smelling it. I'm like, what am I going to call this? And I looked right at her. We was talking for a few minutes. I said, Janine, you better stop or I'll beat you like a redheaded stepchild. Next thing you know, here comes a blend called Redheaded Stepchild.
It's
And
awesome.
it took off. I mean, people are buying the shit out of it. It's like I do this a lot. Things just come to my head. I try them on myself and I'm like, okay, I got it. Boom. And I know I should be what's that old saying? Where somebody copies you, it's flattery. There's a lot of clone houses that are copying a lot of shit that I do, and I shouldn't be mad at it. But listen, I'm the low man on the totem pole when it comes to these clone houses. I don't make what most of these other guys make. So when I come up with an idea and I do so well and it sells like crazy, and then you see somebody else making, you're like, dude, did you spend all the time? Because I buy out of my own pocket. I don't have a loan. I buy my oils out of my money. I create it out of my money. And to be honest, my OGs are what I make my money off of. I didn't get in this, George, to be rich. I
Right.
got into this because I love fragrances and I like being creative and I wanted to give other people away because the only thing that was here at this time was Dua. And to be honest, Dua is really expensive for what they are. And I'm like, dude, if I create something, I want it to be cheap so people can understand it, but I don't want to be so quality cheap. And that's what I do every damn day. I love what I do. But this stuff is really, and this is the hardcore thing that I thought about is that I'm losing my love for my business and what I love to do because I'm too enthralled in this other bullshit that's doing nothing but dragging me down and I'm putting out this false persona of the guy that I truly am. I am
Right.
not an asshole. I'm not a dickhead. I'm not a hateful person. I'm actually a very loving person. If people would get to know me on an intimate basis, you will find I'm probably the most loyal and you know that's how you know with Ross, that's how we got off on the wrong foot. I can't tell you, brother. I can't tell you, Joey. I can't tell you, George, how you should feel about something. I'll give you an instance. I had a daughter who died at the age of 14. So my ex-wife's kids that I raised, their grandmother lost two paternal kids. She lost two sons, including their dad. And I remember I used to tell her all the time, I'm like, Janet, you got to get over that shit. You can't dive into this shit forever. Until I lost my daughter, the first person I called up to apologize was her. I'm like, don't ever forget it. Don't ever move on from it. how I and how you and how Joey take things are all different.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to use Ross's words. I know me and him were friends longer than 8 weeks, but I was building something. You understand? There was a friendship that was blossoming, and it was gaining tread. I enjoyed the time I spent around Ross, and I felt dismissed hardcore when he did the things he did.
Right.
Ross, you or nobody else can tell me how that affected me, because I don't make friends easy. But when I do, I'm a very devoted, loyal friend. And that's where me and Ross were getting to that point where, like, I would do anything for Ross. I sent him shit for free, and I really couldn't afford to do it, but I did it because there was a blossoming friendship.
Right.
And to see, sometimes the way he acts, and this is between us, but sometimes the way he acts, I'm like, dude, you came from nothing. Calm down, relax. These people that watch you every day are what makes you what you are. Without them, you're nothing.
Right.
Calm down. And that's the message I try to get across. But I can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do themselves. And I have to understand that sometimes that's just not going to happen.
Here's my perspective, DB. I hear you, you're trying to do better, get away from the person that you used to be without forgetting where you came from and all the things you've been through. Yeah. The hard part is, and this is just my perspective, you will always be fighting an uphill battle for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And it's going to make it 5 times harder. And, one thing that I realized in the last week, I know that you had uploaded those videos, putting out the personal, the information. And the problem, you want to be better and you want to grow. You can't.
But that doesn't show it.
It just proves to people what they already felt about you in the first place. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest. And like I said, I don't know you, but I can tell that this is something that you're passionate about.
Hardcore.
We've all been through traumatic experiences, and we all process things differently, and it fucks us up. None of us are perfect. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's severities and levels, and it's different, but everyone has their own story to tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Things like that, it's only hindering you from being happy, from being successful, from growing. And you're almost reassuring people that, look at DB, he's still a piece of shit. Look at these awful things that he did. And I'll be honest, man, I was disappointed. Not that it matters, not that my opinion matters or anything, but I was disappointed because at the end of the day, I just want everyone to be happy. And we all have our own dreams, and we all have our own problems in our past, and we try to be a better person than we were the day before. And it's so easy to give in to the evil, to the negative.
Joey got shit on for bringing you on.
He did tons of it. I've seen it.
And I'm okay with it.
We talked, and I go, listen, Joey, if we're talking and DB is in the room, have him come on so we could have a talk. So, like there's openness to anyway, there's openness to talk, and I'm glad you're showing people this part of you. I'm surprised. I didn't expect, I see a DB who's very aware of himself and the goings on, and I think that you were hurt, and I think that hurt people hurt. Mm-hmm. And I really think that if you show more people this person, that I think that you'll grow your business. I think you'll be happier. Oh my God, DB, if you let's say you sold $100,000 worth of fragrance in a year, you would be right. Think about that.
I don't know if I can handle that big though. I do this all. I make everything fresh. I do it on my own, man. It's
50,000.
Okay.
50,000.
When you said that you tried so hard to get everything off of the internet about yourself, and realizing that no matter how hard you try, that once it's out there, it's out there. It's still there. I just, if you really want, and this goes for each and every one of us, if we really want to be better, we have to 100% let go of all of those negative vibes, negative thoughts, and I'm once again, I have to be very clear that I'm speaking from my perspective. People may disagree with me, they may agree with me. If I were you, all of those videos that brought stress or anxiety or anger or hatred that you put out, you get rid of all of it. The same way you tried getting rid of the information about you online, just clean slate. You're never gonna.
That was a part of the time in my life where, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know that shit was out there. I actually had somebody. It's real funny, but I had a company, I can't remember the name of it. They called me up and said, "Hey, would you like to get the stuff cleared off of your internet? We work with Google. Would you like to get your name off the internet?" And I'm like, my name's on the internet? So then I start looking at myself, and there's all of this shit. Listen, man, once again, I'm not trying to brag, but if you guys would knew all that stuff about me back in the days, who I am now, you would, man, there's just so much shit. You'd see how evil of a person I was. But anyway, and I said, I'm done. I'm done.
I love it.
I want this to go. I want this to be, I have to start chipping away at the old stone so that I can make a marble. That was my saying. Yes. And that's what I tried to do. But then there was that shit there. I'm like, I think I got enough. Nobody's really going to find these extra little, like 5 or 6 articles, but I was wrong. And so just like George had said earlier, this stuff for me is like being an alcoholic. Okay. There's a guy at work that he knows German. I have German tattooed on the top of my arms that says something in German that shouldn't be there. I'll just put it that way. And he threw up a Hitler salute at me, dude. The amount of, I was sweating profusely at how angry I was. And I came home and I didn't tell my girlfriend this, but man, I cried. I'm like, damn, man. Yet it's like, shit. I wanted to kill the dude. I'm not going to lie. I just wanted to grab him and strangle him. Not because he did what he did, but I'm like, do you realize the can of worms that you're opening up for the both of us, dude? Right. Just your stupid little symbolic gesture is taking me back to a place that I don't want to be.
Yeah, a place that you're trying to get away from. That
right. And he uses ignorant N words all the time. And I'm like, dude, if you say this shit around me anymore, I'm losing my job. Get the hell away from me. I don't know what possesses you to do this. Come to find out, he drinks on the job and gets drunk. So now I understand why he does the things he does. But, oh, dude, I came home and I cried because I'm just like, I was that close. I was that close. But see, it wasn't the fact, it's the fact that I wanted to kill him. And I felt that same rage that I used to feel back in that day. And it bothered me, dude. I was shook. And I came home and usually nobody's home on my days off. I came home the next morning, I got up, went to go eat. It was just sick. And I got into thinking, and dude, I just bawled like a baby. I'm like, people don't understand the shit they do nowadays. The world, the way it is so fucked up enough that we have to add that shit back into it is crazy, man. We're such a divided world nowadays, and shit like that is not needed.
You know what? Maybe DB, because you've been trying to fight off your past so much. I think maybe
I have. I still do.
But maybe it's time to just kind of find a way to be at peace with it and just accept it and then create.
And I have, George. And honestly, man, when I tell you I have, but
someone says, "Oh, he did this, he did that." Create mechanisms where you're not fighting it and just accepting it and saying, "That's who I was. I'm not that anymore." I wanted to finish.
Well, you can't give them the power, but I'm like I say, I'm just human.
I know
that shit catches up to me, and
I get it.
I am one of those kind of people. I've said it and I'll say it again. I've never been the kind of person to fight even. I've never have. But there's times with you, I've gone so far overboard, and I'm going to tell you, dude, I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people, and I just don't fucking put it out there. I feel like I'm like in the mafia, like I have to have something against somebody because I'm waiting to be attacked, and it's just bullshit. I'm wasting my time on this negative ass bullshit instead of turning around. And I haven't created a blend in 2 months, George, and I was creating 2 or 3 blends a day.
So DB,
because of all of it,
that fucking energy and all of that chaos that has flooded your mind, hindering you from success and growth and creativity and happiness. I mean, at the end of the day, man, this bad energy is bad for our mind, our body, our soul. shit, sometimes it's bad for our women. You know, it can
Yeah.
fuck us up in other
Yeah.
ways if you know if you
Well,
catch my
Vikings
you know?
Vikings are a nature people, and I happen to love nature. So I've made it a point that when things start getting a little more rounded off, I have to find time for myself to go back out in the woods. When I was a kid, I climbed trees. I built forts out of sticks. I mean, it's just crazy shit kids do. But you know what? Even as an adult, that shit's I still love that shit.
I love that
So
shit.
I need to get the hell out of
Yeah.
here. I need to
And
find my peace in the woods. I need to
Find
sit down on a damn stump, meditate, find the
that's right.
gods,
That's right.
get
And you know
myself.
what? You know what, DB? Sit at the base of a tree, connect
Yes,
your ass to the root, and become one with the
yes,
tree
yes.
and meditate. And I'll tell you what, the group that is in this here right now, I don't know how many people are in this room,
60
but
people.
but you know what happens is that when you start showing, like I said, when you start showing love and compassion and you're fighting whatever you're fighting with good, you're going to see people saying, oh, that guy's a dick. He's this, he's that. And you're going to have someone say, no, man, he's not like that anymore.
That's
Because
the other
people
thing.
will see it.
There's
You know,
hardly anybody that stands up for me, brother. That's why I always feel like I have to. All
Yeah,
these people that you meet in Fragcom that you think would have your side, they stay out of it. And to some degree, and most degrees, I understand it. You don't want the shit like There's a lady named Cindy. Cindy and I have become very close to each other, not in a weird way, but she loves fragrances. She loves my clone house. And we sit and talk about things, and and get to know each other, and just a wonderful person to be around. And I forget the point I was getting to, but anyway, um, she tried to take up for me, and all the hate that has come her way because of me is a lot of guilt on me. And I don't want that for some people, but there are some people well connected in this community that people love and respect. And I'm not saying George Zahara by any means, but other people that could be like, hey, leave the fucking guy alone, man. You know what I'm saying? And they choose not to. I don't know what goes through their minds. And that's why I always feel like if I don't defend myself, nobody will. It's always been that way all my life. That's why I have a fractured eye, because I'm always fighting to defend myself,
I
Listen,
just
man, I
find that
love to fight, but there's a time where I wish there was a time where you could just it's gone. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a lover and a fighter, but I've always been more of a fighter because this is how I grew up in my life.
right.
I
It's
want to be that fucking lover, because honestly, I'm a very mushy dude, and I hate to say that because my pride gets in the way, but I'm a mushy ass motherfucker. I really am.
show the world that, because the moment someone
Very
looks you
mushy.
up, see, Cindy has a tough fight, because the moment someone looks you up, they see all of
Yeah.
this.
the negative energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that
Yep.
if you were to clear all of that out and show the world the
Right.
mushiness, you're gonna have more people fighting your fight.
Think
Just
of
Right.
the breath of fresh air. Now
Yep.
you don't want this tattoo on your body anymore. You've
No.
tried. You've been
Yep.
turned down, and you have to live with it, and it's in your face every single day.
Every day.
And if you could, it wouldn't be here right now. In a perfect world,
No,
it wouldn't be there, and it'd be gone.
it doesn't peel off.
I think of all the negative energy, and I think of those videos, and it's like, but you can get rid of those fucking things.
Yes. Right. Right.
Because when people look you up, they're gonna see docs, they're gonna see personal information, they're gonna hear insults and anger and frustration. You say you're a mushy guy, you've lived your whole life fighting for
Yep.
survival
Yep.
and giving into the darkness, that you realize and you're aware that there is a mushy side and there's a light inside you. There's a
Huge.
yin and a yang. Live the rest of your motherfucking life soft and mushy and loving, and that you will wake up with clarity, and you will be happy, and you will feel a weight off of your shoulders,
Oh
and
yeah.
put it
Most
out into
definitely.
the world that, listen, I know my past. My past will always be my past, but my
Yep.
past will not be my future. It will not be my now. And fucking do everything in your power to fight. If you're a fighter, then you can fight with the fucking positivity. You can
Yeah.
put
Of
that
course.
shit out
Yeah.
there.
I go
Because
to work every day, and I wear two wristbands to cover up my wrists so I don't offend people. I get made fun of for it, but I tell them all the time, man, if I take this off, you won't think the same of me ever since. So let's just leave it alone. I don't give a shit what I look like. I've never really given a shit what I look like. I'm not here to offend people. If I didn't care, I wouldn't cover them. I go through wristbands I buy 2 packs a month because I'm not going to show it. And sometimes I have to take them off to do the job that I do, but I try to hide that even then, try to find gloves that go up high enough so I'm not offending anybody. But you always got dickheads in the world who see it and want to make a big deal about it, and
Of course.
let it
But
be.
it's not worth the energy.
It's not.
How many oils? You said how many fragrances? Did you say you have 174 mixes?
178 blends.
That's 178 videos right there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Man, I've never been the kind of guy to sell my own stuff, man. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's your work and it's your video.
Yeah.
Well, we all have to sell ourselves. That's for
Correct.
sure.
Yeah.
We all have to sell ourselves. But why don't you show the world who you are today by saying, so if someone goes, oh, DB did this, this, and this, the first thing they're going to do, because you have to admit, there's no one in FragCom with your story. Nobody.
No,
so
probably
it's going to stand out. First and foremost, right? They're going to Google you and they're going to see your channel. And why not have the first introduction to them from you? Because whatever, Jesus, this is like in my head, it's like, it's easy. Like, like you have these Russian websites and all that. But the one thing that you have to combat them is your channel.
Yeah.
And whatever they hit on it, should be you explaining your love and passion for fragrance and say, oh, here you go. Don't you ever, isn't there a judge that said, like, isn't there a judge, a show, and he goes, yeah, I was incarcerated at this age, then I went to law school, and then I became...
Judge Joe Brown.
Right. And so, I mean, it'd be like, DB sensation. I come from, from a blah, blah past. And here I am now, and I've turned it around, and here's my fragrances, and then you go right into it.
Yep.
Show
Good idea,
who you are. That's all. 178 blends. God bless you. That's 178 videos that you could put out once a week, twice a week. Do you know the algorithms would put you high? I mean, that's where you should put
that energy.
Into. Your fight should go into that. Let people talk. Isolate the chaos. Meditate, I pray, I meditate, connect yourself to the universe, and you're going to have another 78 blends.
Probably.
Anyway, I hope you and I are good.
Absolutely. 100%.
My heart wants great things for you.
Same.
And I'm good. I'm good with you. And I hope that you're good with me. Thanks for having me on this. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, George. Thank you, bro.
God bless. You got this, DB.
I got it, bro.
It's very easy in my head. I could see it completely, your future of how you could do it, and you could really kick some ass. I hope you do it. I want you to kick ass.
Appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
George, thank you so much. Yeah, DB, I know George on a personal level. I've spent time with this man. I've broke bread with him, and I've talked with him, and there's just so many negative people in this world, and then it always feels like the world only shows you the negative, and you get a fucking chip on your shoulder, and you're just like, where the fuck is all the positivity and the light? And
the thing is, man, it's like there's been so many chips on my shoulders that I've sanded out already, and it's not like I can't. But brother, the thing is, if you let that chip be just an inch deep and you keep chipping at it, next thing you know, that's more you have to fill in. Yeah. And I know I'm going down that path. I'm a man, and I understand sometimes you have to step back and reevaluate what you're doing. I'm not trying to blow your head up, and I hope you don't feel that way, but being on this channel, fixing a few things with some people, getting things fixed out with Ross, and saying to myself, maybe they aren't as bad as people as I have cemented in my head. Did I feel like Ross's apology was 100% loving and caring and really meant it? No. But I also feel like if a man can say he's sorry, then I have, as a man myself and a human being, I have to accept that, because I know how hard it is for me to say I'm sorry.
Right.
And I have to be able to understand that just those words uttered out, and I do feel, 70% he meant that, but I have to be like, okay, all right, I'm done. And I've been battling this guy longer than any fucking body in FragCom.
Sure.
Longer than anybody in FragCom. Because, to be honest, he hurt me more than anybody in FragCom. And, that kind of stuff doesn't go away in time. But here we are, 4.5 years later. It's done. It's finished. There'll never be another Ross Carlos video until he attacks me, which he's never done anyway. And
I don't think he ever will.
No, he never has.
I don't think
there's never been any proof of being showed to me out of his mouth in a video, written, friendship that he's ever said anything. He has said, matter of fact, many a times, not in so many words, but can you just leave me alone? I wish you success. I just wish you'd leave me alone. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck you. But when you get face to face and somebody says to themselves, even though I may not have done anything wrong, and this is where you humble yourself. I don't feel like I've done anything wrong, but just to get this shit done with, I'm going to apologize.
Sure.
That's where it has to end, brother. If you're a human being and you care about other people, when you finally get to that point, it has to stop right there. And I'm a man of my word. It stops right there. Same with me and George. It stops right here. There's nothing about George. And if anybody comes on my channel, and if you are a part of my channel and you're listening, which I don't know if anybody is, don't coax me into it. You're not getting the fucking the reaction out of me. And I'm done. I'm finished. I have rosters. I haven't even read comments, but I did happen to see it.
I stopped reading the comments. I wanted to listen.
Quit reading them because I saw one negative comment. And I'm like, I'm just not doing it. I'm here for George and me. I'm not here for them fuckers who want to be ignorant. This is between me and George. You just so happen to be the moderator, and I'm more than happy for that to be that way. Sure. But I never thought for a minute that he didn't wish me success. Not one time that I feel like Ross didn't genuinely wish me success. But you have to understand, sometimes that comes out in different ways. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, kind of like, fuck you. I wish you success, but go fuck yourself. If you don't have success, why do I care? You know what I mean? Sometimes that's how it comes across. But none of the times has he ever said that I have felt that way. There's been many other people who have said that, and you see where we're at now. That person and me can probably never find. I don't think I can find it in my heart to forgive that guy and his bullshit antics. I can't. It's hard for me. When you talk to somebody for so long on the phone and you say such good things about somebody, you build a rapport, and then it's that easy for you to turn around and reaccuse somebody knowing they're not that way, that it's not me that I'm worried about. You know what I mean?
You can move on. It's just,
that's it. I have to.
You can't engage because then you're once again, you talk about the chip and it gets deeper and it gets harder to fill. And if you really want to move on, if you really want to, you have to completely let it go.
Yeah,
How that other person feels, that's on them, but only you are responsible, right? You are responsible for what happens next. And you can't give into that fucking negative desire. It's so easy to. It's so easy.
You know what, Ken? The Fricom is full of a bunch of drama queens, unfortunately, and I add to it. So,
well, that's the thing, right? So, shout outs to Ken, but does Fricom have way too much drama? Absolutely, but it's every community. It's the workplace. It's your family. It's at home. It's inside, outside.
Unfortunately, when you get a bunch of people together, especially men, with the egos and the pride and the wanting to be right, you're never going to have that.
That's right.
Nothing's going to mesh. And I've said this before, until men can learn to put their pride and egos aside, men will just be men. You know,
Rick, I don't think he's saying he's the victim. I think DB's well aware that it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? It's. I don't think there's any victim mentality where it's poor me. People won't stop. I sent a link for somebody. I wasn't sure if they were going to join, but here we go.
What's going on? Can't hear anything. Jesus,
brother, Christ. I swear to God, if you got an ugly head, bro, you're gonna have to do something with that fucking head. The beard is on point, but that head, bro, you have to fix, man.
Rick, I see a back and forth. I see a shit flinging contest, and then someone throws it a little too hard, or it gets too personal and it crosses a line. But at the end of the day, you got two people throwing shit in the first place. Is what I'm trying to say.
Childish.
Right. It's childish on both ends. But at the end of the day, this is.
You think I'm claiming to be some superhero?
No.
I'm being just as childish as the others, man. Plain and simple.
We
But
have a little
unfortunately, the world thrives on drama and. What, is he talking to us or is he trying to get his phone?
I think there's a background playing. He's having technical issues. I'm going. Ross, can you hear me?
No, he can't.
Yeah.
But it's the crazy shit that he came from left field attacking first. Who is this guy? I don't even know who he is. How do I attack him first?
I don't know.
See what
But
I mean? I don't even know who people are, but yet I'm pretty good if I see somebody and I know who they are. If I've gone after them, I'll be like, yeah, I did. This is the reasons why, but I don't even know the people. So
take a look at this. You're protecting him and feeding into some narrative. No, you know what I'm doing? I'm trying to bring peace. I didn't agree.
It's people like him that keep this infectious shit going. Yeah.
I'm trying to bring fucking peace to a very chaotic fucking community that there's a lot of times I would cause chaos.
Yes.
And when I realized that it was getting personal and people were being genuinely bothered by it, I stopped.
You used to sing memes that were
parodies,
borderline making fun of people. That's the first time I ever saw you.
Yeah.
You don't know how people are going to take that shit, bro. Nobody knows how you're going to take it. We may do it in jest, thinking we're being funny. Right. We do shit thinking it's funny. And then somebody has something to say. The biggest thing we need to do is say to ourselves, I didn't think I offended you, but if I did, I apologize. That's a big fucking thing for a man to do. I didn't think it was, but my bad. You know.
But and you got to remember, you don't have to engage with these people.
Don't. You're right.
Yeah, I'm trying to neutralize the fucking chaos. And listen, I'm gonna get smoke regardless, and I'm gonna keep it 100. George is about to get tuned up by people.
Yep.
Nothing new there. You're gonna continue to get tuned up by people, but don't focus. Stay in your fucking lane. Be your best fucking self that you can be. And like I said, you uploaded some videos this past week, and I want the fucking best for you. Mm-hmm. And I believe that you're trying, and it proved to everyone like, oh yeah, this was a waste of time. This wasn't anything. Keep it real. The TLTG reviews make a good decision to part ways. He dodged a bullet, says AM. Funny how DB and Cuddles have so much in common. Always apologizing for putting a foot in their mouths. Listen, I've had Cuddles on.
We're men enough to apologize.
I've had Neil on here even after I blocked him. We did a coffee and cannolis. Everything was fine. I thought it was good. Well, DB embraced the cannoli, says RXL. Nothing to say here. Don't want nothing to do with this, says Juan. Listen, and guys, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't expect anyone to be all fucking kiss ass.
But I will say this, man. And I understand why. I understand why people wouldn't want to come on my channel because of, the shit. But I have called people out and said, come on, let's get on here and figure this out. I've made videos where I said, but and I look back at the headline and I'm like, I wouldn't come on either. You're up, boy. I wouldn't come on either. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there's a genuine, listen, man, the biggest thing in this world that has really fucked this world up is there's no consequences really for our actions, because I don't know where you live, but I live in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I'm not coming over to your house in 5 minutes to smack you in the mouth for saying something ignorant. Right. But the internet has emboldened us to be bigger dicks, empowers us to be.
You feel safe behind a keyboard or a camera. Right. And you feel like you have power. Like when you're in a group of people with your boys, you feel a little bit tougher than if you were by yourself.
Yep, exactly. Can you hear us, Ross?
Real quick, I wanted to bring my fabulously, beautifully shaped head on real quick.
Listen, I think hold on a second. I think we're all a little bald here.
There's a lot of bald going on here. I
actually a lot of bald action going on.
I need to shave though.
Yours is shiny though, bro.
Yeah, I'm an oily dude, man. That's why I get good performance. I'm an oily guy.
Hell yeah.
So I just wanted to say, I don't want you to doubt for a second that I didn't mean that, because with all of the stuff that's happened between 4 years ago and up to the week and a half ago or whatever it was when we talked, the last thing I ever wanted to do was apologize to you for anything with all of the actions
absolutely
happened. So I don't want you to think it was 70%. I really meant that. I really want peace for both of us. And as George was saying earlier, I want to see you prosper, man. I never had hate for you ever once. I feel terrible for what happened with us and the way I made you feel. I can't control how you feel. You're absolutely right.
That's right.
Nobody can tell you how to feel. you know.
Correct.
And I feel awful for making you feel that way, because I know that's what made the following events happen. Is because I made you feel that way.
It's because
Just wanted
people
to jump
like
on
to
real quick and let you know and reiterate
So
that. And I do mean
I'm going to
this.
say this. I'm going to say this, and it may sound stupid to you, but I've seen where you came from and where you are now. And it's, I don't know how to put this without it making sense. So I'm just going to say it. I cared enough in the background to see some things that I felt like you could change as a human being. But with all the shit that I've put out, why the fuck would you ever listen to a word I say? You see what I'm
And
saying?
you know, I kind of figured that was the still in the back of your head wanting to be my friend thing, was like, man, I wish you wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, some of the things that you're not a fan of, that maybe about my personality that I put out on the internet, I'm just being my authentic self, and I don't lack appreciation for what I do have. I'm just always being myself, and to a fault in some ways.
Yeah.
And that's just basically the reality of the situation. Good or bad, I can be polarizing. I get that. That's why I have a bunch of people that love me and a Reddit group that's
I talk to a lot of people,
you know,
and I never put people's names out, and I'm never going to do that. But I talk to people who like you and who like me.
Mm-hmm.
But that is some of the things they will say in private, is that, you know, Ross doesn't come across very thankful. Like, I remember seeing some screenshots where I can't remember, somebody asked you for the notes, because I don't know if you said the notes or something. This has been quite a while, probably about 6 months ago. And you said, won't you just look them up? That's not catering to your fan base. That person's genuinely interested in what you have to say.
That's probably not verbatim, but something along the lines of maybe being
very
smart
close
ass,
to
probably.
it. Yes.
Probably something along the lines of me being
so
smart.
that's what always had me, was like, Ross, dude, in truthfulness, you would be nothing without these people.
I'm nothing with them. I'm just a guy with a channel.
Without those people, without those people, you're nothing. I hate to say it. I don't think I could ever keep up with 59,000 people. Really, I can't keep up with the fucking 41 friends I have. I can't keep up with the damn orders I get sometimes. But you know, and you know, maybe to a fault, you just have to hurry up and hit one-liners so you see that you're interacting with them. I don't know. I'm not in your brain, but I just that's the vibes me and other people who like you and like me we've talked about in the past. And like I said, when I came to say it, I'm like, why the fuck would Ross listen to what I just said when I'm here fucking bashing him 24/7, always making videos of being a fucking dick? I wouldn't listen to me either.
My family has seen the video with my full name in the title, for God's sakes. My family has come across that. That's not a cool feeling, you know. POS, Jared Black and Ross Carlos, that video. You know, my family members have come across that on YouTube.
Yeah.
So definitely not a cool feeling, you know.
No, it's not.
But I get it. You were hurting. You were angry with me, and
yeah. I mean,
get it.
You know, like I said, man, it seems so minuscule, but like I said, you can't dictate how people feel, and you don't really know how they feel. You know what I mean? I was actually excited, you know, when me and Ross first met. I was like, because I never really got into, my first YouTube experience was Big Beard Business. And to be real honest, Big Beard B started rubbing me the wrong way. I did Patreon for Big Beard B for $20 a month. I know that's not a lot, but for a whole year. And he never answered my emails. He never paid attention to my comments, never responded. Matter of fact, he doesn't do that for probably 90% of the people. So I was going on YouTube, and I believe somebody had introduced me to Ross's channel. And I seen this guy was like, I don't know, Ross would have about 300 fucking subscribers, probably not even that.
Maybe 100.
I'm like, look, he's fucking bald like I am. He's got beard like I am. We got some style. Hey, maybe we'll cut it off. Maybe we'll kick it out. And you know what I did? I reached out. We did some things. I was like, you know, and it went from there. And then I understand all the bullshit gets to people. And
well, that's what it came down to, is I didn't want to deal with the bullshit.
It was coming at you hard, bro. It was coming at me hard. So I can only imagine, bro.
Because I've always believed, and George has heard me say this, that, you know, I know at your core there's a good dude in there. It's just it's coded in a hateful bastard. Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. Like, it's because you have that just like aggression if you feel
I think
attacked.
we all have that.
I
inside.
understand the
But
situation. You know what I mean?
and here's the thing though, Ross, if I could have met you face to face and just hit you in the mouth once, it'd probably be done all over and we wouldn't have to worry about it. But we don't have that option, bro. You know what I'm
It could have
saying?
been one of those things where we roll around on the ground.
Right.
And deal.
And then I'll go fucking buy you a beer. We're fucking done, dude.
Fight clubs. We'll do a boxing charity. Huh?
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
There we go. Put on the gloves.
I did do MMA. I might be at a little bit of disadvantage, but I
Only
mean,
boxing. No, UFC.
okay. Well, then he's going to kick my ass because I'm a boxer. I'm not a fighter, not a boxer.
Anyways, but I just wanted to jump on for a minute and reiterate that, man.
So I hope you got the last video. I hope it didn't offend you. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you didn't, you didn't. It's all good.
No, I didn't. I trained myself a long time ago, especially the last time I watched one of your videos where Alpha of Sales came to my comments to bring me to yours, and we had our back and forth in your comment section. That's the last video I've watched, which was beginning of last year. Yeah. So I've trained myself that, it's not going to be good for my anxiety if I go watch Dwayne's channel.
It wasn't bad. I basically just, there's just so much poison. And I feel like some people, especially that particular person, is more interested in how much fame he thinks he can get off of other people versus trying to make things better for the community. You know what I'm saying? And it really pissed me off. And not because we've made amends or anything. I'm just like, who are you to call people? I swear it's like people nowadays, when they say things, they're looking directly in a mirror. When they say, and me and you have the same political beliefs, so you understand where I'm going with this. We see a lot of that in this world nowadays where one side accuses the other side of something, but I swear to God, they're looking right in the mirror.
That they're doing, yeah.
And we're just not held accountable anywhere in this world. There's nothing held accountable for our actions except if you create a crime and they go off the deep end of it. That's all I see. This person went out and I don't fucking know, robbed a store, and they give them 25 to life for robbing a store. I was like, isn't that a little bit excessive? But But I will be doing a review on Evening Mystique. I actually have that decant coming. So
yeah, I heard Rick was sending it to you. Rick's good dude, man.
Yes.
I like RXL a lot.
Yeah, RXL's good people.
Fan of RXL.
Yeah. He reminds me of Dogman, but then there's those other times where RXL's more level-headed than most people are. So but he's going to send that, and I'll be doing a review of it. I'm always going to keep it 100.
Try it, man. I hope you do. It's been a pretty good reception. My nerves will be bad when you.
I didn't like the other one too much. I didn't, and I wanted to tell you that too. I didn't do that review because I'm like, don't I bash on this dude enough, man?
I would have expected nothing less.
Yes, I would have. I would have let the emotions of what me and you had been through cloud how it doesn't really. It's I love George's fucking bottles. George's bottles look nice. I've always said that. I told him no matter what, I've always seen he takes pride in his business. You can't deny that no matter what. Is everything I put out a banger? Hell no. I put out this fragrance called The Last Icon, and I sold 2 fucking bottles of it because it has oatmeal stout in it. I only put that oatmeal stout is banging powerful. So I'm going to reformulate it, do it again. But I've also put one out called Shot in the Dark and Shot in the Dark Reborn and Caribbean Island. Those have sold so damn much, I'm out of it all. So not everything you're going to put out is going to be a damn banger, bro.
That's just the way it is. That's the way it is.
On that note, I just, again, like I said, I wanted to pop in and reiterate. I didn't want you to have any doubt that wasn't sincere and heartfelt because I wouldn't have said it.
That's what I said. It takes a man to say I'm sorry, dude. So who am I not to say
on the fucking in front of me?
I mean, on a live stream of all things, where it's going to get criticized and shared and spread all over the place.
You're going to get hate.
Exactly, DB. Like saying this to your face in private is one thing, but saying it publicly like this,
that's what I'm saying.
And that was why I jumped on in the first place because we needed to hash it out a bit.
I was pissed. I was pissed, Joey. I was about to cuss you out, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm like, you know what, dude? Fuck it. Let's go ahead and
it needed to happen. Cut it off because that's the one way we haven't done is on camera.
Yeah, and I will say this too: that I didn't come on here and make any comments to be ignorant to George or whatnot whatsoever. I wanted to be a part of the conversation. It popped up. I didn't even pay attention to it. To be honest, I was half asleep. I just saw that you were live and wanted to see what was going on. And I saw George and I'm like, I'll just say hi, fellas, and hop off. But I could see that it was something was bothering that I was in the comments. And I'm like, I just got a feeling. So I just went ahead and got up, got dressed. And
I think you did the right thing.
Absolutely. It was the right thing to do.
Well, I don't blame you for coming here. Joey's an entertaining fucking guy. You know?
Yeah, he's pretty. I like that.
Entertaining guy for sure.
He's pretty. He got that mafia skateboarder look.
He's super Italian. Super Italian.
Shout out to Mafia Skateboards. I'm gonna open up a business and sell skateboards.
So on that note, y'all have a great evening, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Y'all have a good one, guys.
Always great to see you, Ross. Take it easy.
Well, brother, I got I'm starting a new job. My other job had severely slacked. We went from 100% production to 60. I'm losing $500 a paycheck. So I got another job, and then I think I might be up for this one, but I'll end up having to do a drug test and all that stuff tomorrow. So if I don't beat it, my PTSD is already going to keep me awake an hour. So I better get ahead of it. So
I just before first of all, I wish you nothing but the best with your new job. And, you know, like you said, you're a fucking fighter. So, you know, you're going to be able to fight through it. You know, everything will work out. I see a comment. It says, give this guy a few days. He'll be slagging everyone again. I just want to say one thing. If you move on and you mean it, and only you can prove this to everybody, because as you can see, there's people rooting against you.
Yeah, of course, always.
You know, I don't know if there's videos from I've never seen your videos with Ross that you did, but I did see the ones from this week. Would you take all of those negative videos down to show people, and most importantly, it's not for them, but it's for you, so that you can grow, so that you can move on?
I'll tell you what, bro. I would say no under any other circumstance, but since you have been fucked with for bringing me on this channel, now it's going to be twice. You know, as soon as I pop up off here, you're going to get splatted again. Right. So, yeah. So man to man for what you've done for me and how you've helped me out, yeah, I'll take them down. So you got my word. They'll come down.
And I really appreciate that. And that proves to me that you really want to be happy and that you really want to grow and reach your maximum potential, because
I said it in my videos, bro. This is not who I am. And I hate to be, I'm not really forced to be this way, but like I said, man, you know, I've said this is my favorite saying: you can poke a bear with a toothpick or a spear. No matter what, you're going to get a reaction. It just depends on what reaction you're wanting to get. And so, you know, it's just time. You know, like I say, this whole week after being on the show the first time, and, you know, things have been going through my brain. I ain't been sleeping because I had so much shit going through my brain, and I'm sitting here like, it's time to get this out. You know, it's time to be done.
For sure, and it's going to feel fucking better. I'm sure you.
I didn't expect to see George on here, so it's just a bonus for the night. So
I think, you know, when people look you up and there's no existence of any of this negative shit that's affecting you, they're only going to see the best version of you. They're going to see the good side of you. You say you got that soft side. Show them. Show them.
Oh, yeah.
And show them, and then see what happens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I went on to a TikTok video. This will be the last thing I say. I went on a TikTok video one time because I used to have a lot of issues in the TikTok community because I was trying to fight racism, but you know how that goes when you still got tattoos. So I just noticed a racist person on there, and I went at him hard. We had a lot of blows, but one day I just started having a couple beers. Wasn't drunk, wasn't even buzzed, and I can do a lot of good things. I'm really good at imitating a lot of things. My girlfriend says how I act gay really fucking bothers her because I do it very well. So I made a TikTok video where I was very flamboyant and acted really gay. Dude, the amount of people that laughed so hard coming down the comments, and I'm like, see, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is the fucking goofball that I am. That's how I prefer to be. And, you know, but I understand I have to surround myself with like-minded people,
stuff.
You know, and I have to stay away from this. Hey, he's on here talking about you. Well, fuck it, let him talk then. Who gives a shit?
You got people are gonna talk no matter what you do. You can take all the videos down. People are still gonna talk shit.
Absolutely.
But you know what? You don't pay no fucking mind.
Nope. Start blocking.
Yeah, just block. That's why you make the block button. That's why they made the block button. Listen, man, I wish you happiness. I wish you luck on your new job. And I appreciate all of you guys for coming on here, having an adult conversation, listening to each other. And communication is key at the end of the day,
Yes,
guys.
it is.
We need more fucking people to sit down and have a talk when there's an issue.
Yeah.
Because
the thing is, too, guys, if you have a real true issue with me, man, go watch my videos. My number's on there. Just call. And I mean, if you just want to call and say fuck you, that's okay. Then I just hang up and we'll be done with it. But all this stuff that people getting on here and blasting me without even coming and trying to figure out what the problem is, and I'm guilty of it too. Obviously, I used to be a private investigator. Obviously, I know George's number. I know the other guy's number, the Cuddles guy. I know plenty of people's phone numbers. Just say, hey, I need your phone number. I got an issue. Let's talk it out. That is one way that we're going to eliminate this stupid fucking drama that persists in here. We all love attention. We all like to be, smoke blown up our asses, swell our heads up, and make us look like we're tough, including me. But let's communicate in a way that doesn't put everybody else in a frame of mind to absolutely not like that person or not like this person. That's not just me. Find a way to call them personally or have a private video chat. Dude, we have technology today that, like we're doing here, where we can be on our phones and have video, and talk to each other and try to work this shit out. I never got into Fragcom to be this way. My biggest thing when I came into Fragcom was, and especially when I started making YouTube videos, I try to boost other people up. I mean, I don't want to set examples. I don't want people's names out there, but there's been several people that had like no subs. I had 600 and probably 4 of them subscribed to their channels because I said something about them. That's the kind of shit that we have to start doing and get to know the person before you just, I guess, endorse them, because that's another thing we like to do. We like to endorse people or become friends for a couple of weeks. And next thing you know, they're stabbing each other in the back and here's a riff. Hang out with each other, get to talk with each other on a personal level. And then if you want to come out and say, hey, subscribe to this guy or subscribe to this chick, these are good fucking people. That way you don't regret your decision later on. But try to get a hold of them and say, hey man, what's your number, man? I just want to call you. I want to tell you how much of a fucking dick you are. Get it out of my system and move on.
Yeah. Listen, to sit here with Ross and have a this is a second conversation. It just reassures me that things are going to be okay. That you guys are in a good headspace.
He doesn't come after me, so there's never going to be there's never no reason to fight back. So
people come after you. I'm not talking about Ross, just in general.
Yeah, just in general. Yeah.
You don't have to play that game. You're not forced to give into that bullshit.
That's right.
You have a business. You have a wife. You have a home. You have a career. There's things. I'm telling you, man. Go out in the fucking nature. Sit out.
Trust me, I am. That's my piece. It's always been my piece. But appreciate you, Joey, brother. I'm going to hit the bed. Thank you for the live stream, brother.
You have a good night and good luck at your new gig. And talk to you later.
All right, man. See you then.
All right, see you later. All right, guys. How are we? How's everybody doing? Are we okay? Is anyone mad at me? Is anyone gonna drag me? Is there any problem? Is there any fucking problems? Do I need to talk to anybody? Are we okay? Listen, here's what I'm realizing, man. It doesn't. I heard it best. No one gives a fuck about the fragrance. It's the egos. It's egos and it's pride. And it has nothing to do with fragrance. This has nothing to do with the fucking thing. How are your shoulders? It got heavy for a while. I'm okay. I just think that more of these conversations need to happen. I need a drink too, Dirk. I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying to be better. I'm not perfect myself, but I'm trying here. And that's what I have to remind myself. You know what I mean? I'm making a fucking effort over here. Not the drama most people want, but a conversation that really needs to be had. And I at one point I stopped reading the chat. I didn't even fucking scroll. I seen enough. I seen enough of what I needed to see. And now that I'm scrolling through this, you know, you guys are very vocal with your opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are entitled to feel the way you do. I'm not going to judge any of you over it. Thanks, Chippy. But you know, I do want to see all of us being fucking better. You know, because the drama is fun for just like a fucking fraction. And then it gets old. It just gets fucking old over here. I don't understand. Yeah, there was things that I seen this week that I was like, man, this is unacceptable. It's inappropriate. It's tough. But once again, I'm like, none of this has to be. None of it has to exist. It didn't have to get to this point. I said this. It's like when you're fucking around with your friend and you play fighting, and then someone hits a little bit too fucking hard. And all of a sudden, you're like, hold on a second. Are we fighting for real? It always happens. Shout outs to 65 people here watching. You know, this was meant to be about XXX. I'm not going to take this fucking video down. This is a great start to 2023. This is a great start to 2023, guys. Shout outs Dr. Phil. I wish I got paid like Dr. Phil, DB. That'd be kind of fucking sweet. But people need to talk it the fuck out. Swallow your fucking pride and have a fucking adult conversation and listen. I keep saying people need to fucking listen more. It's like everyone, you know, we just live in a day and age now where if your opinion, you know, and it's the only right answer, and if not, it's chaos. DB is cleansed, he said. The People's Channel. Listen, I know I'm gonna get some fucking smoke. I know I'm gonna get some flack. Cancel Cannoli. Cheers. 70 people coming in on 3 hours. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah. I'm really proud of XXX. And I hope you guys, if you're able to, of course, can show love and support to George and myself. It really mean a lot to me. I feel very blessed to be able to be a part of this experience and bring a vision to life. I think you guys are gonna love it. Sing us a song. You want me to go on some corny ass shit? Hold on a second. Yes, yeah, DB, it is. George and I, XXX. I hope you guys like it. I'd buy your bottled golden shower. Say less. Listen, man, I'll drop the link. You want me to send you my piss? Ugh. Okay. Fraycom needs to stick together. Everyone else thinks we're nuts for spending so much money on fragrances. Yeah. I don't understand. You know, Fraycom has always been drama. I've been around 13 years, a part of this community, and I've seen it. And it's men of all different backgrounds and ethnicities and ages, and it's just fucking crazy. It's chaotic. Coffee and cannolis in the morning? That sounds good, Chris. Yeah, I'll do a coffee and cannolis. That sounds good. I'm going to wrap this up, Montrese, but I'll drop the link. You want to come backstage and cake it up and talk some shit. Look at people are already leaving. I had 71. They don't want to hear me sing. Fuckers. I'm going to do a song from Yellow Card. It's called Only One. If you guys are familiar with it. Anyway, shout outs to the 58 people still here with me. I appreciate it. I'm right here. I see you, Chippy. A coffee and cannolis. What do you guys think? Give me some fucking reception. Let me know how you feel tonight went. Broken and fragile thing now, and I can't pick up the pieces. I've thrown my words all around, but I can't give you a reason. I feel so broken up, and I give up. I just wanna tell you so you know. Here I go, scream my lungs out, try to get to you. You are my only one. I let go, but there's just no one that gets me like you do. You are my only one. My only one. That's all you get, bitch. Look at that. We dropped from 70 to 48. You cocksucking motherfuckers. I tried. Yeah, we're gonna do a coffee and cannolis in the morning. I was thinking Joey's tooth was gonna let out of hand last time. I got nothing but love for you, Joey, my dude. I think someone should get certain tattoos covered and removed. It sounds like they want to. It sounds like they want to. The process that goes into it is, like, I don't know how much it costs or what it entails, but I think eventually that's a goal to work towards. And yeah, I wish I had expendable fucking income. I would do it for them. I totally would. Damn drama lurkers. Yeah, I know, CK. Yeah. Anyways, that was only one. Lurker gang going to bed. Exactly, BC. It's time for them to group up. Pat, what's my scent of the day? It was actually leather tobacco. It was leather tobacco, which I think you guys are gonna love, and I can't wait to hear what you guys all have to say about it. I think it's pretty awesome that we were able to have a conversation tonight. I don't think we would see it anywhere else, to be honest. That's just my input. And people are gonna have their opinions, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for what it's worth, I'm trying to help at the end of the day. And everyone's different, Dirk. Everyone's different. Some of us we've been through more shit than others, and we all handle things to the best of our abilities. I just know that none of us are fucking perfect, and we should all try to be better and do better, myself included. But there's got to be a place to talk. Men don't really have a fucking place to talk. Men don't really talk in general. I think that's why so many of us fucking blow our heads off, I think. There's a issue when it comes to masculinity and men being vulnerable and talking about their feelings and shit. Everyone needs to have a goddamn voice, because the worst thing in the world is living in your own head with no one to talk to. I think that's when shit gets dark. Or Loomis, maybe you could patent that, put it on fucking Shark Tank, and become millionaires. Yeah, leather tobacco's right around the corner, and men are expected to get over shit. We have to get over shit. Life without all of this unnecessary drama is tough. I don't need to say this. We know this. I have my fucking struggles with my personal life. So all of this is just it's unnecessary for us to get this worked up and to get angry, or people like to spread hate. People like to troll on the internet. We know that they're gonna troll. They that's their whole purpose. They feel better. They get off on it. But I don't know I don't know your guys' fucking story. What's up, Hilly? How you doing? Preach, brother Cannoli. Yeah, I told my problems to Blondie. I'd talk to Blondie, out of respect. Blondie seems like she just sit there, listen, and smile, But yeah, man, I really am. I'm just trying to, accountability buds. Yeah, Mental Health Monday, always a good time. That's why I have Mental Health Monday, guys. You know, and people can say it's corny, or most of the time people aren't comfortable being vulnerable on the internet. And unfortunately, I understand because of how awful people can be. But who's that? Mikey Dens? Who's messaging? I just got a notification on my watch. Patty Pimblett's powerful message. Share this video about the stigma with men and feelings. Can I play the audio or copyright get me? Also, Miami Cuddles must have messaged me 10:45. He unsent a message. Okay, well, I can't. Nothing I can do with that. I want to listen to this, Mikey Dens. I just don't want to get the channel in trouble. I want to give my Roots hoodie to Joey's Tooth. Hey, that's all right. Therapy Thursday. It's me. Play it. You know what I mean? Can I play it, or are they gonna fuck around? I'm on Raw. If I was on Joey Cannoli, I wouldn't care. But I could use some good inspiration. Need not forget this was supposed to be a moment of celebration for Joey and GZ, and instead of making it about him, he used the platform to try to bring change. Shout out to Joe. God damn, that's really it. That's really it, for Christ's sake, man. You know, if I can take an opportunity to patch up some heavy ass shit, then I'm gonna do it. I don't. Hopefully, other people will jump on that bandwagon as well, because we all have the ability. Hey, thank you, Jonathan. Much love. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, backstage. I'd love to listen to a mic. I don't know what Neil sent to me. He unsent it, but you know, I'm assuming he was listening. Maybe. But listen, we did hit 469 subs. You guys remember there's going to be a giveaway. There's going to be multiple giveaways on Fatboy Fragrance. Shout outs to Juan. TLTG is going to be doing multiple giveaways. And Kirk Elliott. I don't know if Jason is here. There's going to be a giveaway of a fragrance for hitting 469, guys. So I'm going to pat myself on the back and thank each and every one of you for wanting to help me grow and recommended me to your followers and word of mouth. Thank you for allowing me an opportunity. $50 gift card, Fatboy Fragrance. Yeah, there you go. Juan's going to be doing a $50 gift card. Ross is going to be doing a 50 ml seal of Aqua de Gio. I mean, that right there. Come on. No, I don't think he screwed it up at all, Duncan. At all. George and I think, had a very successful XXX stream. And what came after it, obviously I wasn't anticipating, but I took advantage of the opportunity. The time was appropriate, so I decided to give it a chance. I took a risk, and I don't regret it. Yeah, I hope. Yeah. I hope changes happen. I hope we can all just fucking move on from this. And you know, DB, I really appreciate that. He gave me his word, and that means the fucking world to me. And he said, if it was any other situation, he wouldn't do it. So that actually, that really fucking touches me. You know, Diablo Diente will be giving away full presentation. Hell yeah. Evening Mystique. Good morning, Caboose Juice. Good to see you, Boosie. How you doing? Thank you, CK. Shout outs to Fatboy Fragrance. Thank you, Jacob. Listen, I'm just trying to move on, guys. I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling that people don't want to move on for reasons unknown, and there's people that are ready to move on, and hopefully we can continue to move forward. I'll fucking hug you, Dirk. I'll also stick my tongue down your throat, you fuck. I created a Spotify playlist called Joey Cannoli from some of my new faves or forgotten hits. Well, that actually, there you go, Chippy. Thank you. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for Coffee and Cannolis. I'll probably do a full 3-hour Coffee and Cannolis. I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow night. Thank you, Kanga. Good night, fam. Much love. Good night, General. Yeah, hate is definitely easier than love. Absolutely. But at what cost? You know what I mean? It's just not worth it at the end of the day. It does more damage in the end. Hit the bed, Joe. I am fucking tired, BC. Lord knows I'm tired. Shout out to Joey's Tooth. Subscribe. God damn, I really want to play music and Third-party copyright. All right. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. You guys have a great night. Thank you, George, DB, Ross, everybody in the chat. Good night. Much love. Fragrance Dude, what's up, man? Keep on keeping on. I'm wrapping this up. We just got to love more. A 1, 2, 3, 4. People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. When you practice what you preach, would you turn the other cheek? Motherfucking fucking Fracom, send some guidance up above. People got me questioning, where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? The love, the love. Fuck you. We out. Okay. Shout out to the Black Peas. Anyways, here's my outro. Zaharoff, XXX. Get it while it's hot. Thank you to everyone. Actually, wait, I need to give my flowers. I fucked up. I fucked up earlier. I dropped the link. I need to thank everyone that put it right there. I'm so sorry. I dropped it at the 1 hour mark. I don't want people thinking I don't fucking appreciate the support. We're not worthy. Shout outs to Making Fragrance. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, shit. James Kennedy. Keep killing it, player. Thank you. You're making all the good things happen. Keep it up. That actually means a lot to me. Wow, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Yeah. 2 very, very good put it right there's. Big. That means a lot. God, I'm turning into a fucking pussy. Anyways, thank you guys so much to everyone that put it right there. And I hope you two are doing well. I'm out. God bless. Shout outs.